Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Did you see that somebody posted that guy that said, "My name is Buck. I'm a 50-year, 7-year-old American man who has been left by his ex-wife Deborah."
No.
It's really weird profile. I don't know if it's a fake or not.
Those are very, like, Deborah as an ex-wife name.
Yeah, true.
This is like a real red flag for me.
Oh, will I be able to play the theme song?
Not this week.
Okay. All right, we're up to 5.
Somebody watching some movies.
Yeah, I think it's a notification to go to bed.
For Charlotte.
Brian looked like he thought some ominous shit was about to start happening.
That you were gonna eat me. God dang it, Bobby. Man, I'm gonna be home. Like, yeah, you know what happened because I was sick? Motherfucking driving on expired tags for the first time in like 10 years. I know. I just remembered it last night at like 10 o'clock. I was like, oh shit.
You're supposed to get tagged.
Yeah. I'm gonna get them tomorrow.
6 calls.
And then tomorrow, and then Thursday, I'm gonna get the YMCA thing. Membership for the one that you guys are members at, because it's just Katie and Erica are going to take classes together. I figure make it easier.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think we're going to go to the Gahanna one, like I said, but that's at like 11 in the morning.
Yeah, I ain't getting up for that. I didn't get up for Zoe. They had Zoe's birthday brunch this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, it's at 11:30. I was like, I'm not fucking going to that at 11:30. And they were like, what do you, I was like, why aren't they doing a dinner?
Yeah.
Because Craig and Jamie couldn't do a dinner. They had to do a brunch. And I'm like, all right, well, I can't do a brunch. Like, you gotta do a dinner. And I just fucking slept through it.
Yeah.
You fucking gonna organize everything around not me, I guess, then I can't be there.
Yeah, it is. It's only her birthday.
Dinners. I bought her something. I said happy birthday to her. I did all the stuff.
Sure.
You know?
But I don't expect she can do whatever she wants on her birthday.
We do morning.
She shouldn't do anything besides whatever she wants.
Well, her birthday was Wednesday.
Yeah.
I bought her a great gift.
I broke them out of that birthday week stuff, thankfully.
A John Galt t-shirt or sweatshirt.
Why?
That's the brand, man.
She's into John Galt?
Well, she doesn't know what John Galt is. But the brand of shirts is John Galt.
There's John Galt shirts now.
Yeah. Brandy Melville makes them. I can show you the John Galt shirt I bought her.
Which one? Does it say who's John Galt?
Hold on. No. Or wait.
In Brandy Melville?
Yeah.
What is this Brandy Melville?
Here it is. I bought her something basically that looks like this. But it's got a hood on it instead.
That looks cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool as fuck.
That's a John Galt right there.
That is not good that it's named that.
I know. I don't know why they named it John
I
Galt.
don't know if they just thought that was a cool name from history or something, or...
Yeah. All right, you ready to go? Or a lot of these things are conservative fucking people, man. That's like that Vineyard Vines brand.
Oh, yeah.
Shit's just like all Reagan shit.
Yeah. They have a Kennedy shirt, I think.
Is it? Am I sorry for Booth and Oswald, Pinks and cocaine too?
All right, we're back in business. We're up to full capacity again.
JFK, am I sorry you killed the Kennedys and Huxley too? So I never checked the bag in my head for a bomb and my halo was a needle hole.
What's that?
Sorry I saw a priest being beaten and I made a wish. It's a Marilyn Manson song.
Pretty intense.
It's a good one. It's one of those Marilyn Manson songs where he just is like a collection of edgy things to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, I saw a priest being beaten.
Mississippi Willie's in the chat.
Nice. Mississippians Willins.
Exactly. All right, you ready to get this shit started?
Fuck yeah, dude. We got calls, man. Let's get this show going. No music.
Ready?
We can't pump it up, but let's
just give me the thumbs up when I can start talking. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Street Fight Radio call-in show. Leaner, meaner, cleaner setup. We are still in the basement, but now we're taking your calls. Sunday night, time for a street fight. As always, that number to dial. Not as always. As always, we are here taking your calls on Sunday night. There has been some changes. We're going to start doing this from 9 p.m. to midnight, maybe even 8 to 11. We'll see what works with our schedule. But we also have a new number. And that new number is 614-655-3887. Thank you for being here. We are on a live stream through Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and all the rest of that. The queue is filling up. I hope y'all are ready to talk that talk. We're ready to answer your calls. For those of you that don't know who we are, my name is Brett Payne. My co-host here is Brian Quimby. We're Street Fight Radio, #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. We've been doing it out of Columbus, Ohio. And you can hear us on WCRS. And you can even find the largest archives of Street Fight Radio over at WCRSFM.org in the programs area. And check out some of the other wonderful programs that we got over there as well. This is a cold week. I don't know how much you got done. But how are you doing, Brian?
Polar Vortex.
It is Polar
Vortex coming this week. Not last week. Technically, I don't want to get, I'm not Virgil, Texas over here, but my wife has been running around saying we're in a Polar Vortex. And I'm like, technically, the Polar Vortex starts next week.
Sure.
But it feels very cold here, and I hate it. And I'm not walking because it's way too cold to walk. I walked today. I walked a couple days ago. I'm trying when it's not 10 degrees. I'm walking, right? But now that I can't walk, I don't quite have money. I'm going to join the YMCA. I'm talking into the mic. Now that I'm going to join the YMCA, but I don't have the money until Thursday to do that. So I'm kind of thinking like, I'm waking up every day just like I did last year and saying, why in the fuck did I settle here? Like, why?
You were born here.
My ancestors settle here.
Yep.
Why am I here? Why, of all of the places? My dad was not born in fucking Ohio. My dad was born in Buffalo and then lived in Canada for a period.
Well,
so then he made a choice. His mother and his father made a choice to move somewhere in America. They're like, we're moving to America. It's going to be fucking fabulous. And they chose Columbus, Ohio, and not like Los Angeles or Florida or like Austin, Texas, or a place where it's warm. And that every day contributes to my depression when I get out of bed.
That really sucks. It does. I did join the YMCA, so I went swimming yesterday, and it was lots of fun. I've been trying to find something to join to do, like during the winter, and this is a good solution, and it's pretty affordable, and they have so much stuff. It's unreal. It's way cheaper than any other gym solution out there.
The Young Men's Christian Association.
Exactly.
I'm going to go in there. I'm going to get in a Bible study. I'm going to run on a treadmill. I wonder if they do they have fighting classes there? Have you found out about that? Have you looked into that?
I have not seen any fighting classes.
That's what I want to fucking do.
Well, they have karate. I think they have some karate.
Karate. My wife said I could do karate too. And I'm like, I'm not fucking 8. I want to grapple.
Okay.
I want to take like a grappling class. I want to grapple.
Okay.
Some of you might notice that like we're looking straight into the middle where the chat is. It might look like we're looking at the chat. But we're actually looking at the Royal Rumble, which is on an iPad that you can't see on the stream. Just to get behind the magic there. It's like right in front of us. But yeah, I hate the cold. I'm getting depressed.
That sucks.
It's been a wild week though, really. I mean, before we get to the calls, we can sum up some stuff that I didn't want to do on the basement show because it is boring. Not boring, but it's it's just not basement show material, but had a lot of people declare that they're running for president recently.
Okay, who?
Kamala Harris.
Oh, you're talking about Democrats.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like cool people.
No Republicans are going to declare that they're running for president, dude. They got their guy.
Uh-huh.
His name's Donald J. Trump.
Right.
He's the current president of the United States.
Does it matter who's running for Democrats?
Yeah, it does.
To who?
I think it does to me. I mean,
just vote blue no matter who, right? So it doesn't matter.
Well, you hope that that's okay. I know what you're saying, and I believe what you're saying, right? I think that basically at this point, whoever they run wins. I don't think anybody can lose right now.
Really?
I don't even think, and I know this is going to sound crazy to some of the listeners, I don't even think Hillary Clinton can lose. And if anybody can lose, it's Hillary Clinton. But I think even she can win now. But so, was it yesterday or the day before that Bernie announced?
Right.
He's running.
Yeah.
90 years old or whatever he is. At 250 years old.
I talked to some libs at some volunteering that I was doing. They were all very mad about Bernie. This was before he announced. They were very pissed at the thought of him announcing. So when I did see that headline, I was like, okay, now I know some people are mad. That's good.
Yeah. They have officially, he's out. Like, he can't win this thing.
Really?
I really don't think
Hillary Clinton can, but Bernie Sanders can't. Wow.
No, he can't win the primary.
Oh.
I don't think he can win the primary. I think it's going to be one of these, like, good-looking people. One of these Kamala Harris's or one of these Cory Booker is a good-looking guy. I think it's going to be somebody good-looking.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why I have it in my mind that I think a good-looking person's going to be the person, but I, see Kamala Harris, and I'm like, that's the kind of person people would vote for. Just looking at her. I don't think I'm not saying she's hot or anything like that. I'm just saying that,
she looks like she could be on a Lady Boss TV show.
Yeah, she's not a mutant like Donald Trump, is what I'm saying. Like, just a non-mutant is going to win. And, the thing with Bernie, I actually did read a thread yesterday from somebody. I'm not going to out them because they're a private account. They have a lot of followers, but they're a private account. This is just not fair to say their things out over the airwaves. You know what I mean? But they were talking about how in the past 2 or 3 years, Bernie Sanders has really done some things that hurts small, but the sex work thing, the Sesta Fosta,
right,
and a couple other things that has really alienated the type of people that socialism is supposed to help.
Sure.
So I kind of am, that hit me in a way. You know what I mean? Just looking at it. That kind of hit me. And when you think about people in other countries that are going to get bombed and stuff like that, those is just these sorts of things that he's okay with. That really hit me in a way that it's man, really he's better than everybody else, but there is harm happening to people. And I can see why there would be people who didn't trust him this time around. I guess is my thing, and I don't trust him. I think some of that stuff was pretty bad too. I really think the Sesta Fosta stuff was terrible, and he's not the only one that did that. You know what I mean? Like Kamala Harris was for all of them were for it, but it's just saying like, well, he did this, and he didn't have any regard for the people that were speaking out against it and stuff like that. That it's like maybe he is just like, I mean, Medicare for all is like this really great thing, and like higher minimum wages, and him getting people to talk about stuff, and like him bullying Amazon into like raising their rates is all like really cool and stuff. But we can't have a blind spot for those sorts of things, because those are the people we're supposed to be on their side.
Yeah, so, I mean, this sounds like typical leftist loser strategy of taking a guy that everybody was so adamant about hashtagging a whole bunch, and then now saying why he's all bad and wrong and isn't the right time for it and shit like that.
Well, I don't think he's bad. I mean, I'm voting for whoever at this point that is not Donald Trump. I'm going to tell you, I will vote.
Yeah.
I've already said this. I feel horrible about it. I'm
know.
Probably not going to vote in their stupid primary, because it feels the Democratic primary seems like the most pointless thing to vote in the whole world. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they pretty much decide what goes on there.
They bend the rules so much that it's like, what's the point?
No, they pick what happens.
Yeah, but the other thing I wanted to bring up that I found pretty funny was just the like, as soon as Kamala Harris like announced the next day, there were all these guys saying stuff like, you know, it's just funny that these Russian bots are coming out already against this woman who has done so, who was a prosecutor that has done some vile shit. And it's like every single bit of criticism towards her now, every bit of it is, they blame it on, we're all going to be Russian by the end of this election. Me and you are going to be Russian agents. You got to understand that sometime before the election of 2020, there is going to be something written, whether on Twitter in one of those threads or something like that, where me and you are FSB agents, because that's just the way it is. If you're not enthusiastic about the people running, then you're a Russian agent.
Yeah, they've made that their thing. And
funny.
And they do, but the thing is, man, I also over Christmas was around some real liberal shit, and they love the cops. I mean, they don't understand the distrust of authority or policing or justice or the system at all. So the Kamala Harris stuff doesn't even make any sense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know, but I think that there is like a hopefully that we'll get through that thing where we talk about what she's done.
Yeah. I would rather them at least confront it, you know.
Yeah, because you start seeing what she's done, and it's like she fought against body cameras, which me and Brett, when the body camera thing was happening, it was like, you know, they'll just take the fucking things off or cover them or whatever. The body cameras don't really mean anything, but as a symbolic victory, as a symbolism, being against them makes me a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like fighting for the death penalty against people, and fighting to keep wrongfully incarcerated people in jail, and like she did a lot of stuff when she was a prosecutor that is that's it. Those are the types of things that, like, you know, a California prosecutor, they're the worst kind. I think one of them.
You don't think the Cardi B saying the Bernie thing helps at all?
Nope. She's
everybody.
Like Bernie can hit the back walls or something?
No,
like
stop
that?
it. No.
Like, or Bernie dog walked somebody or something?
No.
I don't think so. No. I didn't help last time.
Okay.
People will just call her Killer Mike's friend.
That's true.
You know, Killer Mike was there, and people just all of a sudden were like, I hate you, Killer Michael. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I don't think there's a celebrity that can endorse Bernie Sanders besides, like, Hillary Clinton. Like, if Hillary Clinton was like, I like Bernie Sanders, he should be the president, then those people would come along with him. But Hillary Clinton already was on TV I think yesterday, saying like, well, you know, a lot of them, Bernie had a lot of them Russian bot accounts and stuff like that working for him. So she's full on in like Bernie's Russian.
It's great. It's a good answer.
I'm excited about the Russia stuff. I really am. Like this time where it's like, I've been accused of being all different sorts of agents in the past, but a Russian agent I really like, because I've never even been out of the United States. I just got to the West Coast for the first time at 40 years old. I think I've spent, out of 40 years, I have spent 39 and a half years in Columbus, Ohio. Maybe even more, actually, than that.
Right.
You think it's probably 39 and 3/4
Right.
years in Columbus, Ohio.
Probably about 2 months not here.
Yeah. Let's get these calls, man.
Yeah.
I'm just nervous to take them now.
Yeah, let's see if this works. Here's the big test, everybody. Thank you. Hold on. Thank you for calling Street Fight Radio. Who are we talking to?
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, we're on. What's
First
up?
time on.
Cool. How's it going?
First caller
It
in the
works.
base mode. Hell yeah. What's up, man?
Not much. I'm sitting in Minnesota right now, and we're just freezing here too. So I feel ya.
You're in the sun?
No.
I thought you
I'm in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, it's cold in Minnesota. It's not. I thought you said I'm sitting here in the sun. I was like,
Yeah.
well, fuck you, buddy.
How long has it been since you left?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm in Minnesota. We're in wind chill -15 or something. But we got a 2-hour late start of school tomorrow, so
Okay.
it's all worth it.
You know what's weird? My daughter goes to a school. She lives in a walking district, right? No buses at all. And they never
Yep.
cancel school or delay it for the weather. And they say the reason they don't do it is because they're a walking district, which makes no sense to me at all. I can't figure out why that's the reason why they don't cancel school for cold weather. So
Yeah, they'll just be out in the cold.
yeah, they're just like, you can walk, man. You
Yeah,
can
that
walk,
doesn't
you'll
make
start
any sense.
sweating.
Bundle up.
Yeah. I did see a guy yesterday on a Reddit thread about walking. I was looking up something about indoor walking in Ohio. It's some guy, like a dick. It's like, there's no such thing as bad walking weather, only bad clothes. And it's like,
Oh, yeah.
motherfucker, there is a such thing as bad walking weather. It's when it's 10 degrees outside, that's bad.
Like,
Man, well, it was awful because last week it started raining like crazy and the temperature I was watching it drop to like 35 to 29 and it's just turned into ice. So it's not good for walking in. I want to go running, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to fucking slip and break my ankle.
Right, I was walking today and I could not stop. All I could picture was the fall and then catching myself and breaking my wrist again.
Yeah.
That's all I could. Every time I slide now, I guess I'm traumatized because I've broken my wrist twice. I've broken an ankle. Like, I've broken more bones than regular people because I'm an idiot. And I'm just, like, I'm not aware of my body. And, like, I've broken a bunch of bones. And, like, every time I even slightly slide on a piece of ice, I'm like, this is where I break a bone. Like,
Yeah.
I could have just, like, I treat it like I just had a near miss.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I just almost died.
entire life flashes before your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever like crossed the street, I guess, and like you cross the street and a car zips by, it doesn't really get close to hitting you, but then you start to think like, shit, what if that car would have hit me? And then you start to, because I do this, I get like panic attacks about like, I was so close to this bad thing happening, but it didn't happen. But what if it had happened and I was dead right now?
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, you would have stepped out of his house like 1 minute later. You would have
So
been
let me pivot this.
picking you up with a sponge or something.
What do you like to do out in Minnesota to beat the winter blues? What's your solution?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm on like a Nordic ski team, right? So, you know, we're
Tight.
we'll be out skiing no matter what the weather is
Fucking,
tomorrow.
I love it. Okay.
Nuts like that. But
Cool. Good
yeah,
answer.
we got a race on Tuesday, but they're probably gonna cancel it because it's gonna be like -27 wind chill or something.
Polar vortex.
Yeah.
That's called a polar vortex. It's a new thing we have in Ohio every year now. So what are you calling for tonight? What's going on tonight?
I don't know. So I'll tell you what. I was listening to an episode like maybe a year ago or something where you two were like talking about. I wonder if there are any like young people who listen to our show, and like that's me because at the time I was like 16 or something.
16?
And yeah, and so but the funny thing is I've never called into the show before because it's past my bedtime. So I thought it was 8:30, and I'm like, I gotta call in and say hi.
How can I ask like what is it that a 16 like what do you get out of listening to two old men talk about stuff? Just curious. Like I'm not telling you not to listen. Just is it I guess like the thing I would think or that I would hope for is a thing where it's like I get to hear two adults that are cool and not fucking assholes.
Well, yeah, it's that, and you guys always tell the truth. Like, there's never any, like, trying to, like, hide stuff. Like, you always tell the truth about jobs, about life. Like, even when things aren't, like, totally smooth sailing, you'll tell the truth about that.
Do your parents tell you
it's really good to hear that.
Are your parents pretty open with you? Just, like, out of curiosity? Because, like, my parents my parents never told me about drugs. Probably never really talked about sex. My dad told me to use 2 condoms once, and that was like all they talked to me about sex.
Terrible idea for young people listening. Don't use 2 condoms. They will rub together and break.
Yeah. So your parents are pretty open about that stuff.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're open. They'll talk with everything. But like, I heard about you guys through like listening to Chapo Trap House, and so I decided I had to check it out. But I don't know. It's just hearing real stories about people's lives and like giving the advice. It just seems like it's stuff that everyone should have to know before they go out into the world.
That would be nice.
What is?
I don't know. I keep coming back.
You don't have any like frivolous pursuits? Like you don't wait? Don't you? How do you? Can't you waste your time better than getting involved with all this shit? You're a young person, man.
This is good stuff. Can I ask? No, let me ask about. Do your parents talk to you about money at all?
Yeah, they do actually.
Okay,
so,
that's
cool.
Progressive.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, like they talk a lot about like you gotta save for like later. Like we opened up college accounts early, and we do all that kind of stuff just as kind of like it's always been a habit to like keep money aside for later. And
have they ever talked to you about their money though? Have they ever been like, look, we got this much in the bank account? Because that's like the kind of conversation I try to have those with my daughter. But even I'm more comfortable talking about like sex with my daughter than like that kind of money thing. Like I've noticed that like because she listens to all this rap music, she knows all the lingo and she knows everything about sex anyway. But like I've noticed when she's like, "Can I get some money?" and you're like, "That's $400." Like so the other day. I'll tell this story. Yesterday I said I want to get my daughter a computer. I was like, she needs a computer. She's been depending on my computer, which is so I should buy her one because she's a student. She nowadays a student needs a computer.
Oh, okay.
And she said, you know what? Don't sweat it. Don't buy me a computer unless you can get me a MacBook because that's what I want. Mm-hmm. And like, don't just go out and get me one like yours or anything like that. And I'm like, fuck you, man.
Wow.
So,
does it not work? Does yours not work?
Mine works great. She just wants a MacBook.
Right.
It just has to be a fucking MacBook. I'm surprised she didn't say get me a Supreme MacBook.
Yeah.
Like, but I was just like, I don't know how to explain to her that like $2,000 is a lot of money. Like that, like I don't know how to tell her how much I make.
And that's how much it costs to live in this house.
I know. A lot more.
Like 2 months.
Yeah, 2 times what I pay to live in my house is what you want me to spend on a fucking computer. I can't do it. But I also can't articulate to her money. Like I wish I could just, I don't have the guts to sit her down and show her what's coming in and what's going out and actually what's supposed to be going out. Like I don't think I have the guts to do that yet. Like to talk to her about like our actual situation. Yeah. So I just wonder if there are other parents who do because it seems so taboo. It seems like, oh, you're never supposed to talk about this sort of thing because you don't want the kid to like. My wife always brings it up like, oh, she'll be growing up so fast then. Like that's the conversation. It's like, oh, you're making her grow up too fast. You're making her understand your money situation.
Yeah, well, in like 4 years, she's going to be able to do whatever the fuck she's going to be able to sign legal documents to get a fucking apartment.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was like, I don't think it's even growing up fast, to be honest with your money.
Yeah.
You know? Well, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, you gotta know what's going on.
Yeah, but we're going to have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
We need to ask you a question before you hang up. Now that we're in the basement, we have all kinds of stuff in the basement. So we're going to ask questions from the Dr. Laura game before we hang up on every caller.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to offend you. I'm actually very impressed for such a young person that you're interested in learning about the world. I mean, it's a good idea. I just wouldn't have thought of it of myself at that age.
So here we go. Hi, Dr. Laura. My aunt just died and left me some money. Years ago, she said she wanted me to use it for grad school, but now I'm married with a family and want to use it for them. What should I do? What would you tell this person to do if you were Dr. Laura?
Oh, boy. This is one I wasn't expecting.
Oh, yeah. We didn't mean to put you on the spot like this.
You got to answer it, though. Before we let you hang up the phone, you got to answer. I'll answer it first. I say you use that money for whatever you want. You're not allowed to give people money for a specific thing. I think it's rude. I think it's presumptuous. And I think it should, once you hand over the money, then that is their money and they can use it for anything. The grad school thing, fuck it. If you want to get a fucking nice above ground pool, get a nice above ground pool.
Sure.
What do you think, Brett?
Yeah.
I think you got to go back to grad school. You got to just shake up the whole thing and do exactly what is decreed in the will. I mean, it's a contract there, and you know there's rules.
What do you think, caller?
I think I'm gonna say do whatever with it, because like at the time maybe grad school is something that something that would be important, but now she's got a family, maybe like you got a family, you got all this stuff going on, so like it's whatever makes you happy or whatever makes your life better. Because like at some point in your life, having money for grad school is probably like the most important thing. So you can keep going forward on that track. But like if that's not where you are, why spend the money on it? It's kind of silly.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you
like,
for
I
calling.
think if you're going to give someone money, you should kind of assume that if they have a better use for it, then you should probably trust them and let them make that decision.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
All right, thank
you
for
calling
in.
and thank you for answering the Dr. Laura question.
Get to bed and do your homework and brush your teeth. So that reminds me of when my grandma died, and I wore this like fancy tie to the funeral. I was gonna wear this fancy tie, but I really wanted to wear my Sylvester and Tweety bird tie that I had. And so my mom was like, your grandma would want you to wear the one that you like the best. And so I wore my Sylvester and Tweety bird tie to the funeral. Felt very proud of myself, being all dressed up,
Yes.
repping my, my crew.
So white trash.
Yeah. My dad got them from work. At work, this guy used to travel overseas is all I ever heard. And he would come back with these ties that had like the Looney Tunes on them. And so he would get them for me.
I did used to be like, oh, well, yeah, I'll get one of those Grateful Dead ties when I go to work so people know I'm a fucking partier.
Exactly. I used to see those at Kohl's, I remember, and be like, well, one day I'll work in an office, I can wear this groovy tie.
Well, it's not like, you're not like, I love the Grateful Dead or anything. It's
Right.
not what you're saying. You're saying, like, I know how to party.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, I go to work, I wear a tie, but I know how to party.
Right.
Okay?
All right, let's see who's on the line next here. Thank you for calling Street Fight. I got to double click to get the call. Hey, how's it going?
Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Hey,
this
what's
is,
up?
Hank from Detroit.
What's up, Hank? How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to call and let you guys know that because of your radio show, I've actually been recognized out and about in public twice. So I'm kind of a minor celebrity now.
Nice, Hank. I love getting recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just recognize you by your voice?
I guess. I mean, I was at a house party a couple weeks ago talking about the Russian Revolution, as I am wont to do. and somebody was like, "Oh, you're the guy who was on Street Fight." Really?
Very
That's
nice.
Here, I'm getting recognized for that.
That's
well,
great.
I mean, when you're running in those circles of people like that are politically like active and stuff, you'll generally run into one of our people. It is crazy to recognize.
This though was like this wasn't like you know, like the meeting of the local Reds or whatever. This was just somebody I know, you know, around, and I guess one of their friends is also a listener. So
nice. Well, I think we're going to try to get up. I just, so here's some news, Michigan people. Now, I just went to the library today and got 3 books on hiking and camping in Michigan.
Ooh.
So there could be a Street Fight live show if I can talk Brett into going up to Michigan and hiking with me.
All right.
We're going to hike.
Be a problem then.
What is the hiking in Michigan bad?
Oh, no. I mean, if he doesn't want to do it.
We gotta do a show in Michigan, and we love hiking.
I love to hike.
Yeah, we did a nature weekend this year, and it changed us both. We're now nature dudes. We're like really big. Me and Brett, and our wives and our kids are like really big, like crunchy granola nature people now.
Yeah.
We love to just be out there in the elements, hiking in the woods.
Yep. We have portable bathrooms that we bring with us on all of our hikes, all of that stuff.
I bought a pair of North Face shoes. They're
right.
Like trail shoes.
Yep. They have a rugged and durable bottom.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, if you're in Kentucky or Michigan or West Virginia, I'm going to be around there this year. I got 3 books. I got books about how to hike in those places. I'm setting up the whole summer. When it gets warm out, I'm hitting the fucking hiking trails. I'm a hiking dude now.
I love it. I'm excited.
So did they get you a beer or anything after they recognized you, Hank?
No, it was a BYOB place, so I was drinking my own Colt 45. So
all of our listeners, none of our listeners are craft beer people, and it's really shocking because it just seems like that would be the pool of people we would pull from. Is like the sort of IPA craft beer people, and every one of our when they do can checks in the Street Fighters Facebook group, I'll go scrolling through and everybody's drinking 40s. And it's like,
I mean, my favorite beer is Guinness, but you know, if you want to get a good buzz going fast, you can't beat Colt 45, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, ugh, it's all bad. So we got to ask you a Dr. Laura question before we hang up on you. Are you ready to answer a Dr. Laura question for us? All right.
Sure.
Here we go. Hi, Dr. Laura. My husband and I have children from previous marriages. We both travel a lot for our jobs, so we don't have a lot of time together. My problem is my husband. He always schedules time with his children instead of me. Help. So that is our question.
I'm sorry, what did you say? One more time.
Hi, Dr. Laura. My husband and I have children from previous marriages. We both travel a lot for our jobs, so we don't have a lot of time together. My problem is my husband. He always schedules time with his children ahead of me. Help. Well, I'm going to say this. I am on the wife's side here. You have to take care of your partner no matter what. And if you're scheduling, I mean, I don't know how old these children are, but
the kids are temporary.
They really are. I'm not bullshitting you.
No, Brett, I mean, a lot of people
in my life that the kids are temporary.
No, a lot of people don't realize that after the kid is old enough that you're back to one-on-one, like back in the old days, like when it was you and you weren't as bitter and didn't have someone asking you to wipe their butt or buy them stuff.
Yeah, I can't count on my kid as like a person to hang out with or a person to have an evening with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is all gone now. She's gone all the time. She's never around. So yeah, you got to take care of your wife. And Brad agrees. What do you say, Hank? Is this a problem?
Well, I'm not married, but I have to suggest that the wife should probably talk to the husband about this first, maybe, instead of writing into Dr. Laura. And, I mean, he's the only one that can do anything about it. I mean,
True. You're right.
You know,
I know.
You're right.
She's asking
Holds all the
for-
power.
So this person, this fictional
I think
person that's asking is actually asking like how to do a mind game. Is that what sort of what you're saying? She's like, how do I mind game my husband into? Does that?
well, I mean, I just think it's weird that like your first, if this person were real, obviously they're not, but if they were real, like your first instinct is to write into an advice columnist instead of talking it over. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
in a
but-
marriage, like aren't you supposed to try and talk things out? I think that's how
Right.
it works.
But
right?
people call us for advice too. You know, people call me and Brett or DM me for advice all the time. I think that like there's a whole history. I think that like we do go for outside counsel. We generally shoot to go for outside counsel, in my opinion. Does that make sense to you, Brett? Like
For what?
most of us don't talk to our friends about these sorts of things.
Oh.
And we
Well,
always want
we
to go.
should.
We should. You're right. You and the caller are exactly right. But we do. There's like, it's part of society that we generally go outside of the circle for information.
Yeah,
like this,
yeah.
You know.
I
It's
think
weird.
she
Well,
just
I mean,
needed to
I
settle
think-
the debate. She wanted Dr. Laura as like, who's more important, the kids or the partner? That's where I think she was trying to figure out how she can go about it from that direction, you know?
True.
Well, I mean, you just got to make some kind of ultimatum, I think, in my opinion. You got to sit them down and have a conversation.
It's your
Because
kids or
otherwise,
me.
what? You're just going to be... Anyway, that's my opinion. Is you got to sit the husband down
Okay.
and basically give him what's what.
Perfect. Well, thank you for
That's my
answering.
advice.
Thank you for answering the question, and thanks for spreading the word about Street Fight. You
Yeah,
know,
we
you're out there,
appreciate
You're
it.
one of our
Yeah,
ambassadors. You're one of our brand ambassadors.
Right. Yeah. DM me.
Is that paid?
No, DM me. I'll get you a shirt.
It's there. We'll get you a shirt. We'll pay you in a shirt. Thanks for calling in,
All
Hank.
right.
Have a good
Oh,
one.
man. Yeah. That whole, you're so right. We should make a book. Me and you should write a parenting book called Kids Are Temporary. That's the perfect name for our parenting book. His kids are temporary. They will leave you 100% of the time.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
That other person isn't going to turn into somebody else.
Nope.
Right. All right. Let's see who's next here on the phone. Thank you for calling Street Fight Radio. Who are we talking to?
Hey, it's Casey from Michigan.
What's up, Casey? Michigan calling in deep tonight now that we're on early. Michigan ball.
Yeah, I've had a good night. Let's see, I have no school tomorrow because I'm expecting a foot of snow.
Snow day.
So yeah.
What are you going to do? Are you going to go outside and fuck around tomorrow?
What?
Are you going to go outside and fuck around tomorrow in the snow, or are you just going to lock in and play video games or something?
I don't know, because it is supposed to be very cold, like you know, wind, cold, all that shit. So yeah, I'll probably just be inside and all that.
Are you a play
So, yeah.
outside kind of person?
What?
Are you like a play outside kind of person? If there's a foot of snow and it's 36 degrees outside, or not 36, if it's 31 degrees outside and there's a foot of snow, would you be the type of person that goes outside and messes around in it?
I don't know, cause in about 8 months I'll be up in Houghton, which is cold as crap. So yeah, I'm kind of the outside kind of guy, but I prefer to be cold, like warm and all that.
Okay.
Like yeah.
What are you calling for tonight?
I got a first job story, kind of small, kind of SBT, all that.
Sweet, let's hear it. I haven't heard one of these in 3 weeks. Well, I
Dang,
heard
okay.
on tour.
So-
I heard one on the phone.
right. So my first job that I got was out on this one resort part of the state called Canadian Lakes. I worked as a dishwasher up there, and it was kind of rough, but
Okay.
it sucked. I was the only guy there, like when it was packed. So I had to up to 2 a.m. I had to clean and scrub, mop, all that crap. But which I was 16 at the time. That was about 2 years ago. So a supervisor had to be in the place when I was on my own. So I was there late. I was tired. Kind of sucks, but the thing that was bad, the worst is I got suspended for 2 weeks for work for not showing up to a shift. That I told the head guy that I would not even cause
Sounds fucked up.
Cause I had my first concert. I went to down in Grand Rapids on the 14th of July. And the head chef called in and handed down the suspension. So it was just all fucked up.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, they always take advantage of kids too at those places.
True.
For sure.
Yeah. You're exactly that is the goal.
It's
actually.
weird.
That's why
I
you
just
hire
don't think
them.
kids should be doing it. Should be going to school and doing that shit at the same time. It's just not. The extra stress doesn't seem like the best way for kids to be educated. You know, to learn
Right,
anything.
of course.
Yeah, such a waste of time. I don't know. I'm not into kids working. I'm pretty bitter about having to do it.
I'm against it now too. I'm never gonna let my daughter work. She ain't working.
We got an echo going on right now.
Yeah, I might be too far away from the phone. We might have to hang up on you there, buddy. I think there's something weird going on with the
What?
phones. I think we're gonna have to hang up on you. I think there's something weird going on with the connection.
It's
Okay,
bouncing.
all right.
Thanks for calling though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Should we
I don't
try
know.
another one and see what happens?
I mean, we got an anonymous coming up.
Is
which
that
means
good or
either
bad?
They could be pranking us, you know.
Oh, you think it's a
You want to
prankster?
see if we get pranked? Let's see.
Let's see if we can trust the anonymous.
Okay, go for it.
All I'm thinking of is that stupid mask.
Jason, try turning it back up to where it was before that call, because now they're saying it's too low. We're trying to adjust. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're trying to adjust on the fly here, folks. This is all brand new.
Thank you for calling
First time
Street
ever.
Fight. Who are we talking to?
Hey, is this the Polar Vortex podcast?
This
It
is
is.
a podcast about polar vortexes and different polar vortexing things.
Well, surviving a polar vortex. What tips do you got?
I would say don't go to work, but it might be hard for a lot of us.
That's true. That's true. So what do you got? What's going on tonight?
First I'll say I'm Greg from St. Louis, and I'm sorry about you guys' experience with your live show here.
Oh, it's quite all right.
No, I mean, look, that was our first tour we ever booked. These things are getting easier and easier every time because we're getting a reputation. And we always say we'll never be back, but we went back to Cleveland, and it was a victorious experience. And the only thing, let me apologize to you, actually, St. Louis, when I told the Chapo guys never go to St. Louis when they were in town.
No,
I might have been bitter at that period. So sorry about that.
So that's all right. I wish I would have known that they treated you so bad. I would have told you guys to trash talk the venue, because at the bar they couldn't hear what you guys were saying at all.
Yeah,
you could have trash talked them during the show.
Oh, during the show, we're afraid. We're so scared of like confrontation in that way.
Well,
I don't want to fight with the club. Well, and I was like, you know what? I could trash the bar on stage or on floor in front of table, but like I can also go on my show and trash it to a lot more people. So we decided to do it on the show. We did trash them, which is so out of our thing now. We don't trash things anymore, but that's what we do.
So I heard you guys, I heard the most recent Wednesday show where you guys talked about General Motors, and I'm a member of UAW, and I work for General Motors.
Wow.
And I'm hoping I hope I can maybe answer some questions or clear things up or explain what might be happening on the union side and the GM side.
So yeah, I do want to talk about this. I'm glad you called in. This is the perfect. See, this is why the call-in show works. I did feel like we were sort of hard on the union because I think can I try to guess that it's possible that the union didn't do a lot of this out of like a solidarity sort of thing. Like they are there to protect their employees, and these guys are management, you know?
That's basically it. Here's what I will try to say is that, so first I'm going to say that this is my subjective experience and should not be taken as how the union operates, because I don't know everything for sure. But from my understanding is that the union representatives that are protecting the employees, like it's in the union like contract and the bylaws saying that they have to protect the employees to the best of their ability, even if it means protecting people being racist. And it's up to management to provide the evidence that that they're being attacked or whatever. So the union is going to protect the employees no matter what, and it's even if it means protecting people being racist, and it sucks. But maybe the representatives the union representatives are like not putting as much effort into protecting the racist employees.
Right. Yeah, that is a possibility that they were just like, yeah, I mean, I think a thing that you need to do, I think a thing that you need to actually do is deal with the racist. Like, they should have dealt with the racism, I think. Like, it's a bad look not to do it. And, like, we have a tough time. I mean, there is this whole thing now where like the left does get accused of having like blind spots on things like racism and stuff like that. So that like unions in the working class especially maybe do have, I mean, they should have a responsibility to be pretty vigilant about this sort of thing. But like, I also see what you're saying. Like, you know, they're there to protect the workers from management, and that's what they're there to do. And like, if something slips through the cracks, if something fucked up happens, then I mean, it sucks that it happened, but I did think that like that article came off as very hard on the unions. It maybe didn't give them, I guess the quotes that they decided to pull were pretty rough on the union, when it also really is, when it comes to management, that's like the company's job. The company should have been dealing with this type of stuff, you know?
Yeah, and from what it sounds like is that the people, the black people that were being harassed were managers, and that's just a really tough situation because it sounds like that upper management was telling the lower management to deal with it themselves, and that's at least how it seems to go in my plant. Is that when you're the lowest level of management and you're a supervisor to a group of employees, you're getting crap from those workers and you're getting crap from upper management, and it's just the worst job possible to be in.
Right. Yeah. I know. I'm with you. I did want to bring that up because I don't ever want this show to come off as anti-union, but that story was fucked. You know, that was a weird one. So I want to be clear that I don't think the unions are racist. I'm talking about just that there is maybe that the unions are considered by many like the white working class, you know, and that like they do have a rap now, whether it's deserved or not, for being racist. And like we have to like I think it's our job to work extra hard to kind of show that that's not true. You know, because we're getting back. Yeah, we're getting back into the primary season, and there's going to be a lot of smears on people like that. You know, and you just worry about it. So before we go, you have to answer a Dr. Laura question. Is that okay with you?
I will. If only if I could plug a podcast, because I heard people do that on here before.
Do that. Hell yeah. We want to hear more podcasts. What's up? Who is it?
All right. Okay. Well, so it's not my podcast. I just do the editing of it. But my wife and her friends, they do a podcast called Cardboard Curse, where they make fun of board games, specifically like board games with poor license on them, where the people making the board game was like, let's just take this popular TV show or movie and turn it into a crappy board game. And so they play those and review them.
We actually have a Shark Tank board game down here in the basement, and of course we're using the Dr. Laura game now, so we're into that stuff. I'll have to check it out. It sounds like a cool show.
So yeah, for all those interested, it's Cardboard Curse, and it's the same name on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. But I'm ready for your Dr. Laura question.
All right, here we go. Hi, Dr. Laura. My 13-year-old stepson was disrespectful to a teacher at school. He refused to write an apology note, so I took away some privileges. My wife thinks I'm being too harsh. Do you think I mishandled it? Brett. Do you think they mishandled this? This was disrespect to the teacher at school. And Brett actually has a story about this. He witnessed his daughter lying to the teacher.
I know. That was yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is the road to disrespect is paved with little lies to teachers about homework.
No, I took my daughter to school. I don't take her to school very often, but because I've been getting up early, I have now. And I saw her teacher say, now remember last night's homework was to do your mindfulness training. Did you do that? And she looked at her straight in the face and was like, oh yeah, I did that last night. And I was like, you did not do that at all. I was with you the whole night long. You know?
Yeah. Do you how are you going to handle if Charlotte becomes disrespectful to teachers?
I don't know. I just have to know why, I guess.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat.
I just have to know why.
My daughter's got like a history teacher that is, how do I explain this? He is very he's not a chud. I really don't think he's a chud. He's more the intellectual type of conservative that's not really intellectual. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like he knows a lot about like the Missouri Compromise and stuff like that. And he's a conservative, but he's not like, you know, he doesn't think of any other things, you know. Okay. It's all like very solid American history sort of guy, right?
Okay.
And like he says things sometimes. He's been trying to teach them this thing called GRIT, which is it's an acronym for something, but what it really is it's his basically my daughter, this is how she took the lesson. So this is filtered from a teacher to a kid to me.
Right.
Right? You're not special. Nothing about you is special.
Nice.
You are all what you need to do to make your way in this world is work as hard as you can and grind and eat as much shit as you can.
Right.
And then you get to be something. You need to have grit.
Right.
Because you're not special. Your talents aren't special. Nothing about you is special. Grit is what makes people successful. And if my daughter told him to go fuck himself for that, I would be totally fine with that.
Oh, sure.
I wouldn't take away any privileges because I think that's a fucking shitty thing to teach a bunch of 13-year-olds. Your skills mean nothing.
That's what Jordan Peterson talks about.
That's
yes!
Pretty much what I'm saying is that I said some smart alecky things to some teachers before, and if they were warranted, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My parents, I don't remember my parents didn't spend too much time at school.
Yeah.
It was just more like, you should know better.
Yeah, just cut it out.
Yeah.
So, you probably don't, do you have kids?
No.
Okay, but now you're going to have to put yourself in a parent's head. Do you think you should take away privileges for being disrespectful in school?
Boy, I would need to see more of what the disrespect was, but it sounds fairly appropriate. I mean, kids are just tiny, angry little things most of the time, and they need to maybe show some disrespect back to the kids so they know what they're doing to others.
Yeah.
I want to say this to Patrick in the chat, by the way. They said, I'm a teacher, and teaching grit, especially to working class students, does more harm than good. And I totally agree. I think it's just such a, that's not a message. I'm not trying to send that message to my daughter. I'm trying to send a message that fucking anything is possible. And if you hone and develop your skills and your talent, then you can do anything. That's mine. You know? And I don't want people telling them that their special skills and their talent and things they've honed over time are nothing and they're not special, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I think in regards to the Dr. Laura question is, we shouldn't just automatically show respect to our elders. They got to earn it.
I agree with that, 100%.
Agree.
Good call.
That's perfect.
Even better than Dr. Laura.
That's perfect. Well, thanks for calling in, and thanks for answering a Dr. Laura question for us. We gotta get
no problem. Thank you, guys.
Call. Thank you. Next call. Next call. We're not gonna be able to take a break. You realize that, don't you?
You're going all the way through?
We're gonna have to. We can't. We can't play music.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, we can put them on. We can play music. Yeah. Okay, Jason says we can play music. We'll take a break after like 2 or 3 calls. How's that sound?
Sure. We still got a full queue.
Let's burn them through.
We're gonna get all
we might not get to all the calls tonight. We thought we weren't going to get any calls, so.
Yeah. Thanks
Answer the long boys
for calling Street Fight Radio. Who are you talking to?
Who we talking to?
Hello.
How's it going?
This is Caleb. It's not the Raptor Caleb, but the printer Caleb.
Okay, hey, I like the printer Caleb. I just read your story about how you started your shop on our Little Hustles thing. I was gonna call you Terry. I was gonna credit you as Terry in the zine, but very impressed.
I would suggest going with Terry because I got another story about that place that I wanted to talk about.
I'm gonna Terry you. So what's going on? What's your story tonight?
Well, first I just want to shout out to my comrades and my lovely wife Michelle. Say hi to everybody that's listening right now. But same workplace. The boss, he had a God complex. So basically, it was a screen printing place, and we would run shirts through the dryer, and he wanted to run as many shirts through the dryer as possible in the smallest amount of time, and it wouldn't cure properly, and I told him about it, and he would come out, and he would hold the procedure pamphlet in his hand, and he said to us, "This is your Bible.
Whoa.
You need to follow it. I am your God." He's like, if you just, like... He said, "I don't care if God himself comes through that door and tells you something differently. You tell him you have a higher authority, and that is me." And we had a guy that even left from that.
That
Dude,
is
yeah.
saying you're God to your employees and that this handbook is your Bible. How do you get to that point when you're
Right.
like just a dude that runs a print? Like, I mean, if you were like the leader of the Peace Corps and you were like solving world hunger, does that like then I would be like, okay, you solved world hunger.
Yeah.
You're God, but you're just making T-shirts. I'm not saying that's not a reputable job. I'm saying that like God is not going to take time to make T-shirts.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think about that a lot when I'm doing like the work, and I was just like, where do you get this from? Like, and he inherited the business from his father, and he was entitled to himself. So I think that's kind of where it came from.
Yeah. So in the book, did it tell you to do the shirts in a way that fucked up the curing process?
Yeah, he would want us. We would send it through a dryer, and he said it needed to hit, a certain degree, which was correct, but it needed to hit it for a certain amount of time.
Right.
And I guess he heard from like a sales associate or something from the company that sold him the dryer that he didn't, as long as it hit the temperature, it would be fine. But he didn't want to listen to the people, with experience. And we actually ended up going and running everything back through the dryer we lost an entire week of production because he wouldn't listen to us.
That's fucked up. There was somebody at the Portland show was it Portland or maybe it was Seattle, told this outrageous fucking story about a boss that there were some lights that were out in the office, like in the back room, like literally this person couldn't work in those areas because it was dark, and they went to their boss and finally were like, hey, are we going to replace these bulbs back here? And they said, oh no, those are LED bulbs, those last 15 years. That was supposed to turn them back on or something just by mentioning some sort of fucking, it's like, it doesn't matter, they're not working, it's like, it doesn't matter what a sales associate told you, these fucking T-shirts look like shit.
Yeah, it's just that authoritative complex that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like the whole, like, I wish I'm a guy that really wants self-confidence more than you could ever imagine, right? Like, so the kind of self-confidence a person like that has, to me, even though they're an asshole, is like sort of admirable. The way, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I look at him and kind of admire somebody who's like, I am God and you will listen to me and this is how things work, okay? Well, even if it's wrong.
Yeah, someone that's just decided that they're going to make the most noise and make everything in the room revolve around them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Caleb, you ready for a Dr. Laura question?
I guess so.
We're doling out advice. We're doling out Dr. Laura advice, okay? Hi, Dr. Laura. Oh, wait, Hi, Dr. Laura. My good friend and I both have 10-year-old daughters who are in the same class, okay? But they really don't play together that much. They're
money
not
class?
What?
Money class or just school
No,
class?
in like school class.
Okay.
So they're two 10-year-old. Okay, so me and Brett each have kids, right? Let's pretend they're both 10 years old.
Yep, I do too.
Okay, yeah, let's pretend all of our kids are 10 years old and we're the best friends in the history of the world. But my daughter has invited 3 friends out to dinner for her birthday, and this girl is not one of them. What should I do? Now, parents, I'm going to go first. I'm going first here.
Do you have sound effects?
That would be funny. I'm going to go first here. Parents put more stock in this sort of things than the kids do. By the time the kids are 10, 11 years old, a thing you have to teach them is that you will not be invited to everything. That happens. That, like, kindergarten, first, second, third, even maybe 4th grade, everybody's invited to everything, right?
Yeah.
But as they get older, that becomes smaller. And I think kids understand it really well, but we're very worried about our kids getting their feelings hurt.
Right.
So for me, it's like, I mean, if they don't hang out, then they don't hang out. Why would they go out to dinner?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense if they aren't friends.
Yeah. So you have kids. How would you handle something like this?
I kind of agree with what you're saying. Maybe, I think about some of my other friends that have kids, if they don't end up being friends at the end, maybe explain to them, try to be inclusive and everything. But yeah, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, it's got to be their own decision.
Yeah, I'm going to have this situation as well, because I was just at a good friend's house whose kid's the same age. So, and they might not be the best buds at 12, but I still might fucking force her to.
I don't do that though. I am very lucky because my daughter and my niece love each other. Like they're friends and they hang out as friends. Like, so I'm very lucky kind of in that department, but I did for about a year and a half there in fifth grade, man. Like there would be weekends where I had to sit down and talk to my daughter about like, hey, not everybody gets invited to everything, and you need to make an impression. I mean, like if you're shy and you kind of don't make an impression on anybody, I guess in a way, if you don't have any really close friends that you talk to a lot, you're not going to get invited to things. Yeah. Because they're not thinking about you. They're not trying to hurt your feelings. They're doing a thing and they want the people there. And like these are conversations that if you don't like. These are the types of things that if you don't talk about it and if you don't confront it and if they don't confront it when they're young, it's going to fuck their adulthood up. Like it's going to fuck them up as people. They are going to feel left out of things and it's just going to make a wild ass fucking person, right? Like that's the way I think about it. Like it's just that some of the things we do in our heads, some of the things we make up in our heads about the social world, a lot of those could be like alleviated if we just had conversations like this when the kids are young. You are not being left out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this to be mean.
Yeah. People keep pretty tight circles usually. Yeah. That's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for calling, Caleb. And I did love your story. It will be going into the zine. I promise. You'll be Terry.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. You can't show your family because you'll be Terry. So that'll be a problem, but thanks for calling, man.
Thank you, guys.
You too. Caleb's been around for a long time. I watched Caleb open his screen printing shop.
Wow.
Like on Facebook, just as a person. And
I don't think it works like that.
It does though. It moves them in different orders for some reason, and if somebody's waiting for 55 minutes, you want to take their call before you take a 10-minute person.
But I think this is someone that's already lapsed over an hour and it restarts the clock.
That's a yikes. Okay, well,
I believe that's how
go ahead and pick them up. Let's get this.
This is like the number that they came into the queue.
Let's tear through these fucking calls, man. Let's do this.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling Street Fight Radio. How are you?
Hey, is this me?
This is you. Who's this? Who dis?
This is Nick from an unpronounceable town in Wisconsin.
Cool.
So you got 3 in a row. You got your Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota.
Now we're getting now we're getting this part of the country. No, the West Coast is mad at us. Where the fuck is the college?
They can show up at 11.
We got it. We were getting real tired of staying up till 2 in the morning on Sunday, or working till 2:30 in the morning on Sundays. Well, what's going on tonight?
Long time, first time caller, long time listener, and just saying, having a couple beers before I got to go to bed, and shovel the driveway of the 6 to 10 inches we're supposed to get, and evidently you guys are supposed to get it too. So
no, we ain't getting no snow. We're gonna get a polar vortex. We're not getting. It's just gonna get cold here. It doesn't really snow in Columbus. I mean, it does. But I think it snows about 8 times a year in this city. And that's about it. We're not like a big snow.
That doesn't snow.
That doesn't snow to me. How many days are there in a year?
It's snow out there right now.
There is snow out there, but it's not snowing. It snows like 8 times a year. And maybe 2 of them are snow emergencies. Out of 365 days, and it's mostly winter in Columbus. It's winter 9 months out of the year, 9 to 11 months out of the year, it feels like.
Okay.
So,
Brian's not taking it well. He definitely couldn't handle a big city.
I'm getting depressed.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I couldn't do Minnesota. Fuck that. No. Nope. I'm glad we went there in the fall. So, what's going on tonight? Yeah, it's so stupid, right?
Yeah, we're watching.
Kind of wanted to call in and, is it Brett that's the one that doesn't eat meat?
That's me, yeah.
Okay. Do you have any, like really good, like, vegan dishes or, like, veggie dishes? Or, well, just any dishes that don't eat meat that would be really good. I mean, I just kind of started a month ago more to, like, limit my options of, like, not eating fast food all the time and to lose weight. And so far I'm seeing some pretty good results. But, you know, I live in, like, rural Wisconsin. So, like, most of the places to eat are either fast food or taverns. And, you know, a diet of beer and fried cheese curds isn't exactly a good way to go about your life.
Yeah. I just had a great dinner today. That was 100% well, it wasn't vegan after I fucked with it, but like actually it wasn't vegan at all. I had cheese. But like, you know what's really good? Like, and it doesn't sound good. When my wife first described it, I was like, this sucks. But mixing sweet potatoes with black beans and peppers is the best. The fucking best meal. And it's filling and it works every time. It sounds like you're eating dirt, but it is the best.
That actually sounds like kind of good. I've always been like on the fence about like sweet potatoes, but like now that you say like black beans and peppers, I'm like really big, and like our family's really good with spicy stuff. I'll have to like bring that up next time we go grocery shopping or something.
The sweet potatoes take a minute, so you have to do those first in the skillet before everything else, and make sure they get kind of soft, and then you can start adding your onions and your beans, which are going to cook a lot faster. But I do that. I do that filling in enchiladas, quesadillas, tacos. Like that's usually my substitute for most of the Mexican food I do. I get like a can of the green chilies and tomatoes, and I'll add it to that as well sometimes, and then season it up right. And that's like one of my. I've had that staple for a very long time now.
I mean, mash up them sweet potatoes and put them beans on it. It's good. You know, like if you want junk food that's not like cheese curds and stuff, like, because that's I'm becoming kind of an expert in like eating vegetarian junk food because my wife and kid are vegetarian. It's pointless for me to buy a bunch of meat and stuff like that. But like those spicy Boca chicken things, you make a sandwich out of that spicy Boca chicken like patty, and you toss some sort of sauce on it, and lettuce and tomato and a peppers or something, you got yourself a good sandwich there.
Yeah.
We eat a ton of French fries at our house too, which is bad. We shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I mean, I don't like a lot of the vegan sausages. I don't like a lot of the fake meat, you know? But like
I'm on that same boat. I'm not a big fake meat kind of guy.
No. It's just if you've eaten meat all your life, you know, like the fake meat, if you're going in expecting it to taste like the meat that you know and love, it's not going to.
You can do, well, and also, I don't know if you have a rice cooker, but like go to the thrift store and get one of those because it makes it way easier than doing it in a pot. But I always like to do tofu. Like you can do it pretty good in the oven with like cornstarch and make it pretty crispy. And then from there, your sauces is whatever you like. You can make it sweet. You can make it hot. You can make it, you know, however you want, and pour that over rice with some vegetables. That's like a really easy one to do as well. That has a, you know, good amount of nutrients in it. You know, broccoli, onions, red peppers, cashews, shit like that in there with it. With like tofu is pretty filling and good for you. And it gets that fried food like, you know, goodness in there as well a little bit.
Yeah, those cauliflower wings always work. Cauliflower wings are really good, and it's like when you're eating them,
they actually work.
Yeah, when you're eating them, you're like, damn, I'm eating vegetables. Like I'm just loving to eat. I'm enjoying these vegetables. It's crazy when you're eating them because, like, I am like, you will never satisfy me with a vegetable. And is vegan pasta hard to make?
No, it's very easy.
Okay.
A lot of pasta is just water and flour.
Oh, I do eggs. I use eggs.
Sure. But you don't have to.
You should do pasta too. Like, I know it's not good for you, but it's like it's a vegetarian meal that's super easy to make. And our listeners will tell you 100 of them now. If just you know, if you're in the Facebook group or something, we'll get there's, or if you know, we'll figure it out. We'll get some recipes out there because I think I'm probably the only person that eats meat that is Street Fight adjacent. I eat meat and everybody else seems like vegetarians to me that listen. It really does, right? Like our listeners probably seem high level vegetarian.
No, I've been bullied by a whole bunch of meat eaters into talking about like barbecue and shit after the show, and I'm like 5 minutes into the conversation, and I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah, why are they talking to you about barbecue? About Q? They do it like this though? Do they be like, you know, Brian?
Open-minded I am.
Yeah. Do you know Brian? Brian would love this barbecue.
Yeah.
Is that what they do?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, you got to answer a Dr. Laura question. So before we can hang up, so let's do this. Hi, how are you, Dr. Laura? My teenage son has been using my new computer too much and lying about it. Last weekend, he got around my password when I was away and was on for 12 hours. My punishment was no computer time for 1 year.
Whoa!
Do you think I'm too harsh?
Whoa.
Okay. Of course, I'll go first again. Yes, no punishment time. You're talking about numbers. You're not talking about content. She's not talking about he's going on my computer and watching pornography, which he is. Probably there's pornography happening, but she's just mad about the time. So we can only go on what she's mad about. So the punishment for spending too much time on the computer is no computer for an entire year.
Yeah, that'll break the habit for sure, I think.
A week. I mean, I don't think you should ever. I'm big on you never take anything 100% away. That's my opinion. Brett, what about you?
Oh yeah.
Are you a takeaway stuff guy? You gonna take it away? You gonna take that computer away?
I don't see the point in taking it away because you don't accomplish anything. Like if my daughter's doing something fucked up on a computer, she's going to have the unfortunate situation of me putting together like a training program where I sit down and talk to her about it over several weeks. It isn't just going to be like a banishment thing. No, that doesn't accomplish shit. You know?
I don't take any. I would never take something away. My parents used to be like, no TV, right?
I mean, and like, you know, that's the thing too, is the parents that talk. I have a lot of moral panic on the playgrounds after school about iPads and stuff, and it's like, dummies, this is where the world is heading. Like, this is what we're all doing anyways. Like, they're gonna grow up and become one of us who stares at these things all fucking day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't act like it's, you know, they're doing anything different than what we're doing, you know?
Okay, yeah.
But like, you can control what the interaction is with that fucking environment, you know?
Okay, yeah. That does make sense. Now, caller, are you a take stuff away person? Is this too harsh of a sentence for this young boy, this teenager?
You know, I'm not a parent, but I think I can say as a 21-year-old that you're officially psycho if you do that. That is way too harsh of a punishment. Holy mackerel!
Pretty wild.
A year-long punishment is.
They don't last. Then you have to go crawling back into your kid and apologize to him and tell him like, it was a little too harsh to say a year. You know, you can use a computer again.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is a 1 year. I guess what I'm saying is like a 1 year punishment should be. I mean, basically the only person that should be handing out 1 year punishments, and believe me, I don't believe in this, is like juvenile court judges sending people to jail. Like if you're at home, what I'm saying is if you're at home and you're dealing with a problem with a kid, a 1 year punishment is a crazy.
It's out of the
crazy
question.
Period. Yeah. This is.
They won't even be the same kid in a year.
They won't even be the same kid in 2 months. And then she's like, no computer. And all this is about time. That's it. You're using it too much. How annoying is. I'm so annoyed by this person. This fictional person really got my goat here. All right. Thanks for calling in. We're gonna get a couple more calls in before we take a break. Draco.
Do you mind if I do a couple shout-outs?
Yeah, go shout it out. Shout it out loud.
First
He
thing,
has no idea
I
what we
helped
were
set up a
talking
TSA
about.
chapter with a bunch of other buddies up in like the Green Bay, Appleton, Fox Cities area. It's about an hour north of Milwaukee. But you can follow them on Twitter at Fox_DSA. And then, if you want to follow me on Twitter for crappy Packer takes and other ironic posts, at THESCHNO, the Schno.
Hey, can I tell you? Can I give you an idea real quick? When you make when you make a DSA T-shirt, make it like Fox, like the dirt bike company.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the brand, that brand from the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, do that. That is the style. I'm thinking about having Brett make a No Fear style street fight shirt.
I would be into that.
So we're bringing that shit back. That's just my suggestion for you.
Bad Boys Club and Bad Girls Club and Bad Non-Binaries Club.
I like fear.
We should do
I
Bad
like No Fear.
Non-Binaries Club.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, I prefer No Fear. I think I'm a No Fear guy. I wore a No Fear shirt. So
I had No Fear shoes at one point. I was so bought into the brand.
You were into
I
that
was
brand.
Matched out.
You're very much a No Fear kind of. Like, your philosophy is very No Fear.
I still live by a No Fear t-shirt lifestyle.
Right.
Like, the mottos are what keep me going.
You are. Brett is
what do
like.
we got? Let's look at some good No Fear slogans.
Brett is a No Fear. Like, his entire philosophy is the No Fear clothing company. And, like,
if you can't win,
now.
don't play.
Yeah, older.
Yep.
He's just older.
Yep.
Like, he's older and more sophisticated now, but basically, if you want to know Brett's philosophy in life, it's No Fear. If it has wheels, ew. I'm not going to read that one.
That's a bad one. That's not a real one, is it?
I don't want to read it. We're going to make a No Fear shirt. Maybe we'll let the listeners vote for the slogan to put on the No Fear shirt. We'll come up with like 5 or 6 of them.
Like a real tough.
Or maybe or we can like do a contest where somebody names it and then they get like a cut of the t-shirt sales.
Okay.
How's that? How's that something?
I like that idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
All right. This is an idea. So get ready. We might be asking for this. This is actually a really fun idea. You get a cut of the money.
Look at this one. Living. It's the only thing worth dying for.
That's true, though.
All right.
I took my grit test to see what my grit score is earlier.
Oh.
I got a 2.40
Okay.
grit score. I scored higher than about 10% of American adults in a recent study.
90% of people have more grit than you.
I mean, I'm relatively successful, though, in my field.
You're doing good.
So.
Imagine if you upped that grit.
Imagine if I had actual grit.
What if you were a 3.0 on the grit scale?
I got to tell you the truth, dude.
Up?
These questions, though.
What are the questions?
I was so honest with the grit questions, and they're real questions where, like, for me and you, especially, you got to take a look at yourself. Well, it's things like new ideas and projects sometimes distract me from previous ones.
That's true.
And I'm like, yes, very much like me.
I hate the stuff that I've already done before. I want to just do something else.
Setbacks don't discourage me. I don't give up easily.
I've gotten better at that. I've actually fought through that one over a very long period of time.
Here, well, right before we take this call, it's only 8 questions. I'll get your grit score for you, Brett. So the answers are very much like me, mostly like me, somewhat like me, not much like me, and not like me at all.
New ideas and projects distract me, I would say, is somewhat like me. Yeah. I spend more time going over and over again what we have to do. Like, I'm just always like, I have a million fucking things I have to do right now.
I'm very much, that was very much, I answered very much like me to that.
Sure.
Because new ideas, I will throw everything away to do a new thing.
Sure.
You know? Setbacks don't discourage me. I don't give up easily. Where does that put you there?
Mostly like me.
Mostly like me. Yeah, I don't give up easily. I mean, I said somewhat like me because I do give up fairly easily on tech things is what I was thinking. Like, the reason we had to hire Jason, it was like, I give up. I'm not doing it.
But there's been failures in accomplishing things with the show, and there's been failures in accomplishing things with, like, my own life and career and stuff, where, like, I was depressed for, like, 2 months to 2 years at a time. And then I got to the point where, like, after I got better, it was like, wait, I could have just tackled this fucking thing got over the failure and moved on to the next thing because there's no other option. Like it's not, you don't fail forever. Yeah. But I treated it because I had messed up these things that it was like over for me. And I lived the next 6 months of my life like it was.
Yep.
So I've now, through a lot of fucking effort, now it's like when I get when someone says we can't do this shit, I'm like, all right, we're gonna figure out a way to do it though. Like, we just have to make it work. You know?
Yeah, you have been good about it too. I often set a goal, but later choose to pursue a different one. I answered somewhat like me, and that's not actually true though. I do actually. We set goals at the beginning of every year for Street Fight.
Yeah,
and even if we don't make them. Like, I remember we set New York by the end of the summer of that year, and we didn't get there until October, but we kept going. We didn't just say no.
Right, we didn't say, well, we didn't hit our goal in March.
And we said California, or we said West Coast by the end of last year, and we got there January 4th. We didn't just give up, so.
Right.
So what do you think there? Somewhat like me? Or is it not much like me?
I would say it's somewhat like me because I still wake up and like, all right, I got to get this thing done. And then I always find other things to distract me.
Me too. I am a hard worker.
Yeah, very much like me.
Oh, my God.
That's me all the time.
I answered not much like me.
I only am working.
Yeah. I have difficulty maintaining my focus on projects that take more than a few months to complete.
Yeah, I'm saying not much like me.
Not much like me.
We have a pretty long-term thing going for this, and I feel like it comes in phases, and I know what's going on.
Yeah, I finish whatever I begin.
I'm gonna go with someone like me.
That was me too.
I have so many abandoned projects.
I'm very somewhat like me in that department. My interests change.
I need to make all my. We need to get all of our stuff out there.
I know. My interests change from year to year. I was very much like me. That's the most like me that any of these questions are.
Yeah, that is very much you. But I think it's also very much me.
Yeah, it is. It is. We both, like, none of the stuff that if we met us from 5 years ago, we would be like, what a couple of chodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it very much or mostly like? Are you strong very much?
Yeah.
I am diligent. I never give up.
I would say it's mostly like me.
Mostly like me.
I injured myself working out, so I feel like I have that like really stupid keep driving thing.
I've been obsessed with a certain idea or a project for a short time, but later lost interest.
That's not much like me at all.
Not much like me. That was very mostly like me. I have overcome setbacks to conquer an important challenge.
Yeah, I would say, mostly like me.
All right. Brett's grit score is 3.50. Yeah. He scored higher than about 40% of American adults.
Okay.
So Brett has more grit than me.
That seems more like me, though, because that's where I like to stay. You have no problem being at the back, like at the bottom of the pack, just being like cool with it. I like want to be like, well, at least I'm not the lowest.
Yeah.
Just like better than
I just am honest with myself about my grit to tell you. Like, that's just who I am. I'm not a gritty guy.
Well, and also a lot of this show is actually working around most of our setbacks. So like we don't really have a high amount of grit, but we've been able to slowly plod through working with all of our idiosyncrasies. To make it work.
Yeah. Let's get these calls in.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
No, we had to do a grit test. Score. It was important. That's Street Fight canon now, as Brett has more grit than me.
All right, thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to?
Yo, is this me?
Yep, this is you. What's up? Who's this? Who dis?
Hey, hi. Hey, man, I always call. This is wild. Okay, hey, I'm Glenn the Frog.
What's up,
hey,
Glenn
buddy?
the Frog?
From,
I love those tweets.
What?
Street Frog Radio.
Yeah, from hey Street Fight, what's up? Oh shit, I can't hear you that well.
We're talking kind of into a phone. We're gonna be working on that over the next few weeks, so it'll get there.
No, that's cool.
What's going on tonight?
All right, I wanted to call it like the guy from the GM plant called in earlier. I wanted to call in because of the basement show. You guys were talking about those shitty minute clinics.
Yeah,
and I used to work at one of those.
Are you a doctor?
I'm not. Here, that's one of the things. Is the reason they don't say doctor is because they're all nurse practitioners.
Okay.
I worked at. Okay, so you know how you went to the one in CVS, right? You know how there's one in Kroger too.
Yes, they don't have. They have them in a few places here. Yeah, that's true. There is one in Kroger.
Yeah,
they have them in giant.
Yeah, I used to live in Columbus, and I worked at work at one of the Krogers there, and I was like the the help. That's like the difference between Kroger and CVS is that like they have me doing shit over in Kroger rather than in CVS. It's just the nurse.
Okay. So, were you allowed to prescribe medicine?
No. Well, okay, yeah, like you were talking about the cough medicine with codeine in it.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, we couldn't give that out.
What?
Yeah, no, yeah, nope. We can't give out anything that's stronger than ibuprofen for pain.
Oh.
Basically,
no
codeine,
controlled.
like,
So it's no controlled substances. You're not allowed to give out any controlled substances. Is that the kind of thing?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Is that a law?
Yeah, you can pretty much.
Is this a law or is this just a rule within the company?
I think it's a law, but honestly, I don't know that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's just that they're like it's like, oh, we have to get certified to be able to do this, and it's like too much of a hassle, so we're not doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So what else did we have questions about these minute clinics?
I don't know. I don't.
Do they pay well?
I've never been.
Did they pay well?
Oh no, they don't pay. Well, I mean, the doctor or they're basically doctors. They're doctors in all but name. I feel bad for them, honestly. They make like I think $80,000 a year. I made $12 an hour.
Fuck.
So, not.
You were doing doctor work though. I mean, you're straight up doing the job of a doctor, and they are really slimy about it too. Because how many of the patients would you say were under the? I was under the impression I was seeing a doctor. Like that's the impression I'm under when I go to one of these places.
Oh yeah, I think everybody thinks they're seeing doctors, or like a lot of people at least,
or at least somebody that can do something. Like at least somebody like the codeine cough syrup, like that's a medicine. Like why are there these doctors that aren't allowed to do medicine? Like that's why she sent me she didn't give me the steroids. Like, she could have given me steroids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What was that?
Yeah. No, that's like the whole thing. Well, I was going to say, like, I don't work at one of those anymore, and I wouldn't recommend... Don't go to them, honestly.
Okay.
Everybody who's listening, don't go to Minute Clinic, don't go to Little Clinic, because it's basically the best they'll be able to do is if you're, like, real sure you have a strep or something like that, they can give you an antibiotic. That's 100% what they're good for, or an STD. If certain STDs they could check for.
So you can roll in.
But like
there.
other than that, it's just like tricking you.
Yeah, so if you can roll in there and be like, I think I have, like if you think you have strep, you can go and check and see if you, because that's what I've used it for the 2 times, was I thought I might have strep throat, so I went in there to get a test. But then I didn't have it either time, and it felt like a colossal waste of time, because then they were like, just, walk it off. That was basically what they said to you.
Yeah, because that's like literally all they can pretty much prescribe is those antibiotics for strep. So if they test you and they say, oh, you don't have strep, then like otherwise they pretty much would, like in Kroger, because we would just like walk with the patients and like just go to like the dietary supplement aisle and be like, oh, here's some Flonase.
No.
Try this.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We actually, while I was there too, we had a dietitian who would do that with the food too, which was wild.
That's sales? You're doing sales. They're just doing sales, dude. They'll test you for strep and then they're going on a sales pitch.
We had to market ourselves. It was fucking crazy. I don't know what corporate did, but I'm pretty sure they didn't do anything because we had to do all the supply chain shit. We had to stock. We had to handle. The only thing we didn't have to do was billing, but I had to like sign in the patients, like process shit, do insurance. So they basically whenever we weren't with a patient, we were supposed to be marketing through the aisles and like trying to get people to come in for a flu shot because we had a quota.
Oh, you had a quota?
And obviously we didn't do that, but yeah, we had a quota. We had a quota for flu shots. We were supposed to give like I think it was 14-ish a day, and we weren't. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that seems like a tall ask, like in the grocery store, fucking pulling people aside.
Well, yeah, and Well, yeah, it's amazing. People who are coming in to go grab like some fruit and some milk don't want to have like me, a guy in scrubs, walk up to him and be like, "Hey, do you want to get a shot in your arm real quick?" It'll be like $80.
I don't want to. I wouldn't feel comfortable getting a shot at the grocery store like that. Like out of the blue, just made a decision. I'm gonna make a decision real quick. I
know.
I
What
know.
if you went to go reach in for the bananas and they just stabbed your hand with it?
hiding in the little thing that the bananas are in, and you reach it, and they're like, gotcha, you ain't gonna get the flu this year.
Or while you're in line, they should just walk down and give people flu shots while they're in line.
So, I look at this.
Scan their, like, Savers Shoppers Club card to register whether they got the flu shot or not.
I'm glad you called because
there was a point where we were able to give points. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Damn, get some points.
Like the Kroger points. We did that the year before I was there.
Get one Chips Ahoy if you get one of these today.
Fuel points. You get some fuel points. Get some of them fuel points.
Yeah. I think it was 50 fuel points.
Dude, this is depressing. I looked at those.
This is medicine. This is medicine.
I know. I looked at these as something completely different until this call. And my last experience when they made fun of my uvula.
Right. Big fat boy.
My monstrous uvula.
The Godzilla size uvula.
My Sears Tower. I called it a Sears Tower size uvula last night.
Yeah,
I'm so obsessed with my uvula.
Yeah, that's pretty much all
now.
we're good for over there.
You want to look at it?
Is it big?
Yeah, I can look at it.
Brett said it's gigantic. I would show the people.
Okay.
You think I can show people in the camera?
It looks like a golf ball. Hang on.
Let me try to get close. I'll try to do this. I don't know because I can't see. I'll be right back, and then we'll ask you your Dr. Laura question.
It's like one of those bouncy balls, basically.
Here comes
one of those huge bouncy balls. People were a little bit concerned about the size of your uvula.
All right, here we go.
But oh, gross, dude. He's actually doing it. He's just putting his mouth up in there. He's really putting his mouth in the camera right now, showing people the inside.
I don't know if they saw
all that moss on his tongue.
It's dark, but I mean,
you need to get a light in there.
Well, hold on.
No, don't.
Hold on. Where's my phone?
You're gonna get into that fetish stuff, aren't
you? I'm not getting into fetish
stuff.
Like,
look at my wet holes.
Ew.
We did the girls chat show. It hasn't come out yet, but it was one of the most insane podcasts I've ever done in my life. Oh God, it is huge! Holy moly! God, what is that?
I don't fucking know.
It's like an alien cocoon.
I'm sorry.
It's alive.
I told you that doctor was like weirded out by it, man.
I am too. Yeah, I am too.
Freakish uvula I got, okay?
What was that thing?
I don't fucking know. I didn't
know
it was
watching
weird.
A trailer for a horror movie. I thought it was like something was going to jump out of a sewer.
Stop it. It's fucking normal. There's nothing going on in my mouth.
Someone says, how many rows of teeth does Brian have?
What? Come on!
Wow, that thing was the audience is saying that's a big NO to that.
All right, let's get this Dr. Laura question and ignore my uvula for the rest of the show. My ex-husband and I were friendly with another couple who are now getting a divorce. I've been secretly in love with the husband for years. I want to see if anything can develop for us. What do you think? That's fine. Who am I to say what adults should date? You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what was it again?
Okay, my ex-husband and I were friendly with another couple who are now getting a divorce. I've been secretly in love with the husband for years.
Get it.
I want to see if anything can develop for us. What do you think?
That's like the most common way that old people get together. Everyone's looking for like the most convenient shit they can get themselves into. That's all the old people I know that busted up ended up in some shit like that. Like Facebook got them all together. They're like, man, I really wanted to fuck you back in high school. I can't believe you're divorced now.
That is true. Like, social media has turned into like, well, you know, I used to stare at you in geometry class, so now we're boyfriends. Are people making fun of me still?
Someone says he's over here. Go for a colonoscopy next.
Oh, okay.
That was Double Neck said that.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you think? How are you thinking? Should she go for it?
Oh yeah. She, don't be friends. Just leave them. Go see what that life is like. You know,
right.
go see how it is with the other guy. Break up that marriage.
Yeah.
Well, they're already broken up, right?
Yeah, they're divorcing
Everybody's
now,
broken.
which is kind of weird. Like,
No,
they're in
oh,
the
you're right.
process
Oh, right. You're right.
of
Okay.
divorcing. They're still together, and I feel as though
trying to smash or just trying to get a relationship going.
she's in love with him.
Oh, in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I sort of feel as though
She
you
thinks
got to
she's
let.
in love with him. That's like a lot.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Well, I would say actually, if you want to play the game right, you gotta let him rebound first because he's gonna want to fuck a whole bunch of people.
Please, please. I think the real thing that you have to
you
do.
can't slide in right after a big relationship. Jump
Well,
right
you
into a
also
big
can't.
one.
You also just wait till they're divorced. You know, I feel like until the divorce, there's always a chance they're not going to get divorced, and I've seen people do it a million times in my life now.
Just back out of it.
Yeah,
Like
people
once
are
they
just
get
like,
to
nah,
court?
I think I kind of dig being married. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Well,
you know.
yeah, I know more than one person that got remarried to someone they divorced from.
Yeah. Honeydew Wilkins in the chat said it's not the size of the uvula in the fight, it's the side of the fight in the uvula.
Yes, I had
no
that
fear.
one. I had that one. I had that one.
Just a fucking monster uvula.
Yeah, I had that one.
All
Dude,
right.
everyone's gonna be talking about your uvula for the rest of the night.
I know.
That's
poor
fine.
guy.
It wasn't that weird, really. It's not really that big. They're all exaggerating and like trying to do a bit, but it's fine.
Okay.
I'll let them, you know.
I mean, I heard
think
it's pretty big. I can only hear.
It's normal. Trust me, it's a normal size uvula. Well, thanks for calling in, Frog. Was it Frog?
All right, yeah, Glenn the Frog, man.
Glenn
yeah.
the Frog. You're Glenn the I will remember that the next time. Thanks for calling, buddy.
Okay,
Don't
all right,
talk about
see ya.
my uvula. Don't tell your coworkers about my uvula.
We got some anonymous here. Should we trust him?
We're gonna have to trust him,
Can we
man.
trust that sneaky little mask?
I'm afraid of it, but we got to do it.
This could be an epic meme.
I mean, they've waited 90 minutes.
That's true.
So I'm sure they're here. They're just afraid of being doxxed.
Hey, what's going on? How's it going? Street Fight Radio, taking your call.
Street Fight
Mr.
Radio.
Anonymous.
Hello?
Hey,
Guy-
what's up?
Guy Fawkes.
Street
Hello?
Fight, what's up?
Hey, this is Shit Prol.
Shit
Shit
Pro.
Pro.
You're anonymousing us? Are you sad, Shit
No,
Pro?
I called through. Why?
Because we're not on at like nighttime where you are.
No, I actually like this fine. I don't.
Okay.
I'm usually not doing anything on Sunday evenings, so whatever time works for me.
I want to tell the listeners I met Shit Prol in Oakland. I offered him an opportunity at a very good marketing thing that I had just thought up right there on the spot, and he was not in. Do not go after him with your multi-level marketing schemes. He's not susceptible. He's impervious. So
I've learned my lesson.
What's up, Shit Prol? Every time he calls in, listen to the. Let me just say this: every time you call in now, you have to talk about multi-level marketing because I can't get it out of my head, and I feel bad about it now.
Well, I mean, I'm out of that racket. I'm staying away from anything that smells of multi-level marketing.
It's a good place to be
nowadays. So,
all right, what's going on
I'm
tonight?
trying to get in on other scams.
That's good.
Well, nothing much. I'm gonna go hot tubbing. I'm gonna go in a hot tub soon.
Wow,
that's fun.
They used to tell me that dries your sperms up.
Living luxurious. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to call you guys from a hot tub, but it didn't work out like that.
That would be like the first one. You'd be like our P. Diddy caller.
Yeah, you're gonna get a cigar.
You gotta have a cigar in there.
I do have some cigars I got from Mexico. I mean, I don't smoke, so I could just stick it in my mouth and pretend to smoke it. But
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
Have you ever thought about? This is what I used to do in my hot tub. For all you listen, my parents had a hot tub. We had a hot tub growing up.
Yeah.
And you know the bubble holes? We used to go underwater and breathe through the bubble holes.
Oh, that's
the
tight.
little ones. You could just be underwater forever breathing. My brother taught me. Jason taught me. He was the first one. He's like, I bet you I could stay underwater for 2 minutes. I was like, motherfucker, you can't stay underwater for 2 minutes. And then he went and did it for like longer than 2 minutes. I was like, how's this motherfucker staying underwater that long?
Right.
And it was because he was breathing through the bubble holes that you put your booty hole on.
Smart.
But it's all clean. Like everything's clean in there because the water's so hot. So it don't matter.
Yeah.
Once water's over like 70, 80, 90 degrees, it's clean. That's
Right.
the rules,
It's clean.
you know? If it's hot to the touch, it's clean.
It's true.
That's how I feel about water.
It's true.
What are you hot tubbing? Like you're just like I want to sit in a hot tub and chill?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be going to this place here in Oakland where it's $20 for an hour to just hang out in a hot tub, your own personal hot tub.
I like it.
So I'm gonna treat myself and live luxuriously.
Good idea.
Okay, I like this idea. I like this. Well, I hope you have fun, and I'm going to make you answer a question now. Oh, God. Sorry, I'm watching wrestling, and something stupid just happened. But, so you get to answer a question from Dr. Laura. We're moving away from the NAG cards.
Okay.
And we're going to do the preach cards for the rest of the show.
Got it.
Hi, Dr. Shitprol. I'm a widow and thinking about adopting an older child of about 12. A friend said, why don't I have a baby instead? Because a single parent is a single parent. What do you think? I think your friend's a fucking idiot.
Fucking stupid idea. What is this?
I would adopting a 12-year-old sounds better than making a baby.
Every time.
I know, 100% of the times, adopt a 12-year-old. That's my fucking...
If that's what you want.
I mean,
right.
that's what that's what you should want. 12 is perfect. That is the time to get them. Then there's hardly any work.
No, kid is better.
Okay, that's what you think. So, Shitprol, do you think she should adopt or have a baby?
I mean, is she still capable of having a baby? I mean, I assume
That's what
so.
I mean. If that's the choice she's trying to make. So she's now I'm gonna have a baby person.
So if she had a baby, would it be like through a sperm donor or?
Well, I mean, she could probably get a dude
I need to get
put
all the
one in her.
details.
She could probably get somebody to put one in her if she wanted to.
That's
I mean,
not how babies.
she's
all
an
babies are
attractive
made,
woman.
okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know,
You
but
gotta pay like $25,000 and you can have any baby that you want.
You can?
At any age, yeah.
I just think you go for the 12-year-old. You wanted to adopt a 12-year-old. Adopting a 12-year-old is a noble thing to do, and I don't feel like it gets done enough. And it actually kind of makes you, I don't know, it makes me sad that people don't adopt 12-year-olds. It's like ugly dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like how they just, I mean, they don't kill the 12-year-olds, but the 12-year-olds have to live in like a situation that's totally fucked up.
And if you're a widow or if you're a little far along in your life, it's way easier to just bring a 12-year-old in and be like, let me help you out with self-esteem. Let me help you out, try to find some way to direct your passion and your interest and shit like that. Let me be a guidance for you, you know?
Buy you like a guest shirt.
Skip the wiping butts and shit.
Yeah, skip that stuff and just
buy you a cool pair of shoes, spoil you with money.
Yeah, buy you some nice clothes, get you in school, get you living a good life. That's how I feel. Adopt 12-year-olds, okay?
Sure.
All right, thanks for calling, Shitprol. It was great to meet you, actually. You're a sweet guy. We love you.
All right, great to meet you guys too. Have a good show.
All right.
I don't know how loud this dab torch is going to be if I do this right now.
You know, you just got to do it
Figured
and find out.
We don't have any bong sound effects this time around.
Yeah, let's get a call in. Let's do this.
Another anonymous.
We are about 20 minutes away from the end of the show, but we're going to try and get through as many as we can.
20 minutes away? I thought we'd do 3 hours.
What's 3 hours? We start at 8:30, 10. Oh, we're an hour away. Okay, cool. We'll get all these calls in. Who's this, anonymous? Don't be mean to us.
Hey, no, I'm calling from overseas. It's Matt. I'm in Berlin.
What's up, Matt? How's Berlin?
Awesome.
What time is it in Berlin?
Oh, shit. Maybe it's like 4 o'clock, 4:30, something like that in the morning.
Morning? Is it good?
Yeah, I wake up. I'm trying to do a rise, one of Brett's like little rise and grind morning things.
Oh, are you?
So I wake up early, work in the morning.
Are you living the Brett early morning life?
Yeah, I get more shit done like in the morning like that. It's
I agree. It's like,
I end up.
Go ahead. Sorry.
This is earlier than I normally wake up just so I can make the call-in show. But yeah, I get a bunch of shit done in the morning, and then I just take a nap later on. Midday naps are always a good thing.
Yeah, that's what I do too. It feels like you know, you can stay up late and you definitely have time for yourself to do, you know, shit. But like when you first wake up, you have so much more energy and brain power and willpower to cross shit off your list, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's it helps it obviously helps trying to call into the show. Yeah.
Right.
It's not bad. My partner gives me some shit, but I tell her that I'm waking up to call in the street fight, and she she likes it.
Okay,
so
that's good to hear.
Good.
Glad to hear that. Awesome.
What's that?
I said I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she's cool about it.
What's going on tonight?
Nothing. I was gonna call in to ask you guys. Well. When I was waiting in the queue, I heard about the getting punished. What was it for? Computer use for 1 year punishment.
Yes.
And I was gonna. I got grounded for a year when I was a kid because I did one of the. I'm gonna go over to this person's house, and I actually went to a party and snuck out and stuff. So I was grounded for a year, and all that shit clicked back in as soon as I heard you guys talking about that.
Wait, grounded for stick for a whole year?
Yeah, no, legit a whole year. Both my parents were teachers, and we could not get away with a lot of shit when we were kids. So they read through my lie about going to a party pretty quick and called me out on. It's a long fucking story, but they basically figured out that I'd lied to him, grounded me for like a year, and no shit, it was an actual year. I went on my first date. The first date that I had to invite her over to the house because I couldn't go out.
Wowzers.
I make it sound worse. Than it is because at that time in my life, I didn't have a bustling social calendar where I was missing things all the time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'll say this.
But I did, yeah.
I'll say this. I was grounded pretty much all of high school, except for the summers. They usually let me off for the summers. And but if I was in school, and I was not grounded on the weekends, which that's okay. Like I wasn't grounded on Saturday and Sunday. I was still grounded on Friday for some reason, which to me, I'm like, I don't like that, but whatever. And most of the time I was not grounded on Friday too. So I wasn't grounded on the weekends, but I was grounded all week. And like most of my teen year memories of like weekdays and people talk about after school was just sleeping on the couch until in front of the TV until the next day and I'm just like, the reason
You're a hot couch guy?
Well, my parents were the hot couch guys. I was laying on the couch. But the reason I don't the reason I don't believe in these long-term punishments is because, like, who knows what I would have been doing outside with my bad friends and stuff like that. But, like, I've wasted so much time just laying around. Because I couldn't do anything.
Right,
I couldn't, I wasn't allowed to do anything. Or, I missed parties. It's funny. I have, a box of old things, papers type stuff that I wrote in school, just things I wrote down, mementos and shit like that. And I actually have, a note that I wrote just for myself about how my parents wouldn't let me go to a football game that this girl that I was, kind of dating was going to. We were going to meet outside of school on a Friday. It was so exciting. It was me and this girlfriend, and I was so amped about it. My parents would not let me go because I was grounded, right? So I went in my room and I wrote this contract to myself where I was going to make $1 million or make millions of dollars and then buy their house and then not let them live in it and also get them fired from their jobs. Like I was going to destroy my parents' life for grounding me because I hated them. I like hated them. And
you're ruining everything.
I know. It says in this little contract, it was like, and they will never be comfortable again because they didn't let me go meet Jackie at this party or at this football game. And it's like, fucking dude.
And that's why we tune in week to week to listen to your quest to someday completely embarrass your parents into ruin.
That's not what. I guess I am following the contract in a weird way.
You're close.
No, I'm not. I don't hate them. Like now, I don't have like hate in my heart for it. But like, I just think these long punishment things that people are so, not a lot of people do them anymore. But just as advice, like saying we're going to do this long-term punishment, I think it does a lot more harm than good, period.
Oh, yeah.
They'll learn the same lesson in 5 days or 2 days that they would learn over a year. Because teenage life is like 5 days might as well be a year when you're a teenager.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
It's like
it makes an impact.
Yeah, exactly. But my parents were like, "You're grounded. You're grounded until all of your grades are above D's," and it's like that's never gonna happen.
The worst thing of that whole year that I was grounded was actually the first. Shit, it was in like the first 2 weeks. I think my dad, he was really upset that I'd lied to him. And he just didn't talk to me for like, it must have been like a week, 2 weeks, something like that. That was the worst part of the whole thing.
Yeah. That's fucking cold.
Yeah.
That's so shitty.
Yeah.
I think when my parents, when I was just grounded on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I was also allowed to use the phone and watch TV, I don't think that was bad. Like, it was just like, you can't go out and fuck around with your friends. So I would just lay around in my bedroom and talk to girls on the phone. But then, like, they took the phone away. And then after they took the phone away, they finally were like, you're not just going to sit around and watch TV all day. And I'm like, no, so what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Like, what is this life I'm living?
Do your studies.
What am I, fucking veal? I'm not going to study. Like, I wish when I come back on it now, if I was not a person with guts, okay? I didn't, like, talk back or anything like that. I should have just been like, Dad, I'm never going to study. Like, I don't want to. I don't care about this stuff. I'm not going to college. I'm not studying, okay? This isn't my fucking thing. This isn't like, I'm just doing this because they make you do it, you know?
Yeah, this is getting in the way of my dreams of one day having $1 million in your life.
Well, I just don't think I was super honest with them, like, in that, like, I never just told them, like, this, I'm just not passionate about this.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care. I just don't care. If they had known my intentions, maybe they would have been thought of me in a different way.
Right.
Because my parents were really like they raised everybody different.
You'd have to have your shit together.
Yeah.
You'd have to have your shit together to be able to like talk your parents down from that. Like, fuck it, I'm not doing any of this stuff, guys.
Well, I was able to do it with like basketball and or baseball and stuff like that. It was just finally like, I ain't playing fucking baseball. I don't want to play baseball. Baseball fucking sucks. And they were like, okay, well, then you don't have to.
I couldn't quit anything, Brian. Like, fucking anything. I had to run it through. My dad was a high school football coach. My brother was like a All-American football player, all this shit. So, like, when it came to me and playing in sports, fucking, that was a battle up a steep hill with a short stick, man. That I remember quitting football. Like, it was this monumental decision in my life.
Oh no!
Oh my god, I've got to quit. Oh no!
I've got a buddy.
Hindsight didn't fucking matter.
I got a buddy who, when he quit football, his dad cried, like in front of him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how do you fucking handle that, man? I never saw my dad cry, and he's a wiener and a half.
Don't do that to your kid.
don't I'm so let down by you that I'm going to cry right now is like not a good parenting tactic at all. That's not something that you should do.
That's like weaponized toxic masculinity.
I know. Oh my God. Imagine if your dad, just picture your dad sitting down with you and being like,
quitting baseball!
I thought you was going to be a baseball player.
I would wonder how much those parents got, how much of their social life was tied into their kids playing the sport.
Yeah, they were big
one of the.
shit. Yeah, they were.
I've seen my fair share of the parents that are, a little too involved.
Right, they want to be the ref, and they also want to do they want to be in the audience, and they want to they're the ones that throw the parties. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones that throw the team parties, and they're the ones that are like really super into it. Like they do tie up so much of themselves.
Yeah, in self-esteem in your kid.
Yeah,
like we were talking about earlier, and then they eventually go away and they hate you for 5 years.
I know. I think about it a lot.
You talk to them once a week.
I was like having this conversation with my daughter lately because she'll talk about the bad kids who are like juuling and stuff at school and like smoking pot and shit. Right? So she'll talk about them.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I got to tell you, because of the district we're in, bourgeoisie, like basically I'm in a rich school district that's like kind of an urban liberal, like rich school district or whatever. And it's mostly white kids and their parents make a ton of money, right? And like these bad kids, they like in this school they have somewhere in the like high, maybe 80s to 90s college placement rates at this school. Okay, so when you put your kid in that school intentionally, I tend to think that you're putting a lot of like stock in the achievement that your kid is going. Like the amount of achievement for your kid, you're tied up into that too.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that they're high achieving. Right. And I think that stresses out some of these kids, and they're just like, I'm not going to be nothing like you want me to be. Like I'll fucking get high. I don't care. And like, I really do think that that's like, I think that like a lot of parents freak their kids out. Like in that way and turn them into bad kids by tying themselves up, whether it's in their football career or it's in their their wrestling career or their fucking academic career or their band or cheerleading.
You said it a moment ago when you said you were, your parents, you had something you wanted to say to your parents, but they're just not fostering any sort of dialogue like that. And I tend to believe that those open communications are the points when you can be like, seriously, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing? Are you going to just sit here on the couch? Are you going to sit on the couch, or is there something you're interested in that I could help you with?
Yes.
Or that would be more intriguing because, I don't want to just do this like I'm a stern dad fucking routine with
right.
you.
And getting high. And
I care more about, what happens to you than just like punishing you the right way.
Yeah, and like 14 and 15, like one of the kids they always talk about is 15, and he's always got like, he takes pictures of himself with blunts and stuff like that for Snapchat, and it's just sort of like, he's just a troubled kid, man. You got like the way she looks at him is like he's like a monster or a criminal, And like I have to explain to her
in their world. I mean, not many of people are pushing the limit, and that's the thing is that. Once they do turn 18.
It's a low bar.
Yeah, he's been caught having sex around the school and stuff like that. He's juuling in the bathroom and like he's taking pictures of himself with weed and shit like that. But he's showing off, and he's probably just a lost kid, man. Like you don't like the way that people think about bad kids is that they're just people that chose to be bad, and it's like, but they chose for a lot of them for like practical reasons a lot of times. Like I always feel like I chose to be a bad kid because I knew that was going to be the path of least resistance getting through high school. I wouldn't get picked on. People would like me. It's cheap. It's a cheap way to get people to like you, to be like the bad kid and the druggie. It's like a cheap way to get them in to talk to you. And then if you're a good person socially, then obviously you're going to have you're going to have a lot of friends. And I felt like, okay, well, if I'm going to survive high school, I don't want to get made fun of. I'm a sensitive person. I can't really handle it. So I'm going to do everything I can to make myself popular. And a shortcut to that was just being one of the bad kids, the hoods, they called them when I was in school. The druggies. All right.
Yeah, I had, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
All I was going to say is that, like, I had a similar, I didn't have the same, I didn't orient towards those bad things as much to kind of cope with being in school. I was, I've heard you talk about it a couple of times, Brian, like how you were always friends with the girls that were in your classes and stuff like that. Because I found out when I found out really early in life that all the kids that would like pick on me and all the shit that I'd get at school, I could kind of, if I buddied up and was friends with the girls in the class, all the guys would just like fuck off. They didn't want to.
They want to be.
They didn't want to be as mean to me.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
old are you?
So I just.
How old are you?
What's up?
How old are you now?
34.
Okay. Well, my daughter.
Now
the
34.
The interesting thing to me is, and I don't know when this happened, but like when I was in school, bullying was still super cool. But like at this point now, if you bully a kid, that's what nerds do. Like nerds bully kids. Like if somebody does a bullying thing,
I don't think they're nerds. They're bad people.
They're bad, but I'm saying not nerds. A nerd, I guess, means something different. But as in, like they're unpopular. Like the bullies are kind of like if somebody finds if the other kids find out that somebody's bullying people, they're always like, oh fuck him, he's a bully, he's this, he's that. You know what I mean? They don't like him. It's not as cool anymore. That's not like a surefire ticket to.
Man, it's still, if you just really just embarrass somebody in front of everybody, that still has got to hit.
But I just don't think. I think if you do, like he was just saying, if you do it in front of the girls in the class, then they would be disgusted by the bully guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like the gross guy. Like, you know what I mean? There's a friend you have.
Some of us are going our own way, fellas.
Yeah. If there's a friend that you have that does gross stuff, he's like, that's totally cool or whatever, you know, like a person that's just like, I'll lick a piece of pizza off the floor or something like that just to get like kicks. Like that's cool for the dudes. Like that's cool when we're hanging out at a dude's night out. But if you're going to like a co-ed party, that person's not going to be very popular.
Sure.
All right, we got to do a Dr. Laura question and get on to these calls.
Yeah.
Our best female friend just married a guy we like a lot. But before the wedding, he bragged to us about his infidelities during their engagement. Would it serve any purpose to tell our friend about this? It's a good question because I don't know the answer to this. I just said this a minute ago about my high school career. I was a bad kid because it was a path of least resistance. And I think not telling them is the path of least resistance. I know it's horrible, and I think it sounds mean, but like they're getting engaged, dude. Like they're getting married. The marriage is going to happen.
Well, unless someone were to tell them what's going on.
But then what does that, in the end, where does that go?
It means that they might not be together, or maybe they have to talk about it and figure it out. Or maybe it's like an open relationship.
Isn't it like
maybe
kind of
going to be in a throuple?
It's not that though. We can't count on a polyamorous relationship here.
Well,
it isn't a good.
Yeah,
thing.
but if they're your friend, if they're your friend, you should know. You should be able to figure out if they're.
If Erica was like, "Well, I blew so many guys like leading up to getting married to Brett," you'd be like, "Oh, I guess I'll stay out of that then." That's so spicy.
You're making it sound bad. You're making me sound evil. But for me, that's like okay. Here's the thing. Had I not told you, you would still
keep that shit to yourself unless you want it to be told. You cheat, you have to keep it to yourself and don't let nobody else know about ever.
But I'm saying, here's the thing, Brett. If I didn't tell you, right? If this happened and I didn't tell you, you would be married right now and you would be happy and you would have a happy family.
I wouldn't be. They're gonna blow it up eventually. You can't keep it going.
Right, but if
it doesn't work.
In your example, you're the current Brett. We're just all the current people. Just this thing happened, right? So your life is exactly as it is now, okay? But she cheated on you a bunch during your engagement. That's all it is,
right? But
okay.
But she said she was done, or she was just like, I'm about to get you know.
I mean,
into
the information I have to go on is that she just did it during the engagement, and maybe
she's like, I'm about to have this wife life, and then my side chick thing.
Yeah, sowing my wild oats. She's like sowing her wild oats during the engagement because you're not technically married.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I didn't tell you
she didn't tell her husband about that tradition.
Right.
She should have.
Right. No, but I'm saying
it's a guy. That is,
yeah,
right?
it's a guy. What I'm saying is, if I didn't tell you that and your life went on happy, then the only thing that would have resulted from me telling you that is that it would have made you, like, it would have been a traumatic experience that didn't need to happen, I guess, is how I feel. And that's why I say, I mean, I think in a perfect world, you tell them. I'm telling you how I would react as an imperfect human. I don't think I would say anything.
Sure.
I would just be like, all right, man, this is between you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not dipping into Kool-Aid. Okay.
Sure, got it.
I'm seeing my way out of this AB situation.
Got it.
What do you think?
I mean, I'm same answer, different. I mean, slightly different reasoning, but like it's been my experience that if you, I don't know, you get involved in people's relationship dramas, if you're friends with either of them, you're just gonna fuck yourself over in the end if you start, trying to work your way in and give advice into people's relationships.
Right.
That's
it's inserting yourself.
That's a troubled path to go down.
It's inserting yourself and making you a part of the thing. And I think that, like...
Yeah, you're playing Dr. Laura.
No, but you're not doing it out of nowhere. Someone grabbed you and brought you into the shit.
I know. I do agree with that.
You got brought the fuck in.
I'm saying, like, how do I get out of this thing scot-free? I'm going to look at the chat. I don't know what people are saying. But, hey, that's interesting. Look, maybe this is going to be the most controversial one. So congratulations. You just had the most controversial Dr. Laura, because I think I'm coming off worse than I thought I would. But I don't think I'm coming off. I don't think I'm that bad. I just don't want to like ruin somebody's like day. Like that's how I feel. I don't want to ruin somebody's day.
The other side of it is that if their relationship is as messed up, let's I can't even, that's a value judgment. Let's just say that they're fucking around on each other and there's all this stuff hiding behind, somebody's hiding something behind somebody else's back. It's going to manifest itself in like 20 different ways. So there's a lot of, if it's a really good friend of yours and somebody's, that their partner is cheating on them or something like that, there's probably a lot of different avenues to get in to warn them about this person. And if they're getting married, there's a very high likelihood that they've considered all this shit, or maybe they've got their own little relationship parameters that they're working on. It's a fucking sticky situation all around.
Right. Yep.
But what if the guy is like such a wimp that he can't, or can't just break up and call the wedding off and is trying to get you to do the dirty work?
That's what I'm saying. Don't do it.
No.
Why not? Just
God damn, that just opened up a whole
look out for your friend. Look out for your friend.
What if I say this? What if
you don't have to
I tell the
nobody
person
at the end of this?
What if I tell the person, here's a plan. What if I tell the guy that told me if he doesn't tell her, I'm going to tell her? Then
that's what you do.
We're all taken care of.
Thing?
We're all taken care of in that department now. That is what I do. I would tell the dude.
Ultimatum on him.
I would on him. He's the bad guy here.
Right.
That he's the bad guy. No matter what, I'm not the bad guy, and he is the bad guy. Okay? And I want him to understand that he did something wrong, so I'm going to make him tell.
Yeah, it's disrespectful as fuck. And if someone's openly doing that, fuck them. They should suffer some consequences. They should be uncomfortable.
Yep. Somebody in the chat said
they should go online and they got to go online and check their grit score, and then just go in there and end the thing.
Canonically, Brett's is higher than mine, but I think everybody here in the chat. Jane Pickering in the chat said you'll end up blamed for everything.
Well, there's Brett's and there's Brian's that listen to this show.
Yeah.
So.
Jesus Christ, not fair. Well, thank you for calling in. We just had
y'all have a good night.
I don't know. I feel bad. I don't know yet. I don't know how I handled that Dr. Laura question.
Yeah.
Let's get the next caller in.
I know.
Here.
I think some people are sneaking in. We're gonna stop at 11:30. So
we got 45 minutes.
Okay.
Actually, 11:35.
Okay, to be exact. Hello. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Sorry for saying it weird.
Is this me?
This is you. What's up? Who's this?
What's up? This is Alex from Fort Collins, Colorado.
What's up, Alex? How are you tonight?
Pretty good. Just haven't been recovering from the weekend. I had to work 2 13-hour shifts, so that was rough.
Flipping
You worked more than 1 day in 2 days. You worked.
Yeah.
He worked more than half of the whole weekend. What do you do? Restaurant?
I work at I deliver pizzas.
Oh God!
God, you're
Did he
driving your
clean
car
up?
that whole time?
Is it
Yeah.
snowy as fuck? Is that why?
No, it's not snowy, but it's just cold.
Did somebody
and
call
and now
off?
everybody's ordering pizzas.
Yep, I do that.
Yeah. And I was the last one to get cut both nights.
I have a question for you because you're a pizza delivery driver, and I've been having this like crisis in my brain about ordering food in this weather that we have here because it's freezing, right? So the Uber Eats, the Grubhubs, the Postmates, those people need this, right?
Yeah.
They don't plan for a day off,
right,
when the storm comes. So they want you to order food, and you can tip them generously.
True.
For what they do.
True.
Now, I posted about this, and I got a lot of messages from pizza delivery drivers who were like, yeah, but I don't want to go out because I'm already getting paid. Not my tips, but I'm getting paid anyway, and I don't want to risk myself while I'm out there.
Got it. So they could just sit in the office all day if nobody calls.
Yeah, but they wouldn't get any tips. They ain't going to get paid shit doing that. So how do you feel about this, Alex? Is it Alex?
I don't know. I think that I have a really good car for snow, so I don't really mind going out. But I usually expect better tips when it's like 18 and snowing out.
Sure, yeah. I think that's fair. I just think that like, do you see that from other people who aren't like working on an app? Because the app people want you to order. I was a Lyft driver. And like, I didn't care what the weather was. I wanted you to order a Lyft because I needed to get the money. I didn't turn the app on if I didn't need money, you know? But like, the pizza delivery driving thing, it does seem kind of sticky. It does seem like, man, maybe we shouldn't be making them go out in this shit.
Yeah, just eat, like, clear out your cupboards. Like, eat some of the stuff in your cupboards that you have, has been sitting there for too long.
Yeah. 13 hours is a long-ass shift, though. Eesh.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to have to go tell my manager that I'm not doing that shit again.
Oh, shit. I don't know, though. What do you think your manager will say?
I think there's like a 50-50 chance of him just being like, okay, because I'd say that I'd like do it once a weekend, like I'd work a 13-hour shift, but not twice.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah,
he asked you for more than half of your weekend.
Yeah.
Straight up just took 26 hours of your weekend. You only get 48 of those.
Right.
But you're a pizza guy too, so do you party more during the week? Or are you a weekend warrior? You probably don't do much on the weekends, right?
Yeah, not this weekend for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I like weekday partying. I gotta tell you.
I do too.
Every time me and Brett are on tour and we're partying on a Wednesday, I'm like, I love this. This makes me feel great.
Yeah, and so we have like a weird thing too, because we record on Wednesday and Sunday, so I kind of make Thursday and Monday my week shit. So like I do whatever the fuck I want, party all day type thing, like it's the weekend.
Yeah, I'm a big Thursday. Yeah. I'm big on I love Thursdays. My favorite days are Monday now because I don't work on Mondays. Monday's the only day I don't work. If I'm doing third shows, then I'm doing Tuesday and Thursday, which I'm about to be in a thing where for a month I'm going to work, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday every week.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll have time. But you know what I'm saying? So Monday for me is like my big day off.
Nice.
So did you want to do a Dr. Laura question, or do you have something? You still have to do a Dr. Laura question no matter what. But
I've got a small business tyrant story.
Let's hear it.
Right. So I work at a pizza shop, and when I started working there like 2.5 months ago, I just got free pizza, which you should get free pizza if you're working at a pizza shop. Super cheap. But the guy who owns the place is the cheapest man I have ever met. And he put up security cameras through the entire restaurant, and now we no longer can have free pizza.
Oh, man.
Because we get like a certain amount off of a meal, but the managers didn't give a shit until they put up the cameras.
No. So, discounts, fucking food discounts at restaurants are bullshit. And
yeah. You want to hear something else about this discount? They have like a poster up that says like you can get up to 50% off your meal. They never give you 50% off. It's always 30%.
Oh my God. So they only give them a 30% discount on their food, even if they're working. Did you get free pizza on your 13-hour shift? Can I ask that?
Still making money on the food.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So you got free pizza for your 13-hour shift. And that's why they do it, so they can hang it over your head, right? Like they can be like, "Oh, look how great I am! I gave you a free pizza." Double J, baby. I gave you so they're like, "I gave you a free pizza. I'm so magnanimous." Yeah. So oh my God! So a 30% discount on. Have you ever brought up that it's not really 50%?
Yeah, like all of the workers know, but we're not going to say anything to the boss because he can fire us whenever he wants.
Golly, I feel for you. That sucks. They shouldn't be like. I feel like a minimum for a restaurant. Like you're working in a shit place. If it's a restaurant, you can't eat the food. I think that's horrible.
Yeah.
Like you should be. Yeah. Honestly, everybody there should be eating the food all the time. Not like that's not why Brett's laughing. I think that
cup full of food,
like they're walking around at work chopping. I'm just saying that like taking food home or having lunch, like you should be eating the food that they serve at the restaurant, so you know about the food at the restaurant. Even if you're the dishwasher, what does that hurt? What does it hurt?
I don't know.
And pizza is
the bottom line. You just feed your employees. Oh no.
What does a pizza cost? Like 40 cents to make? Like at a pizza shop pizza?
Yeah, it's
what's the
he buys flour in bulk.
Yeah. So
it's
the
just
overhead,
flour, yeast, and water, and like salt.
Yeah, I know that it's classically like people who run pizza places run them because the overhead is crazy low. Like the margins, I guess, are good because I guess it doesn't cost too much to make one pizza, and you're charging like $15 for one of them, unless you're Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's true. All right. Now you got to answer this question for me. You ready, guys?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Both ready? Hi, Doctor. You're Alex, right? Just making sure.
Yep.
Hi, Dr. Alex. Can you help me? I've been married for 11 years and have 3 small children. My wife wants us to have an open marriage and be free to have affairs. She says it will make her happier. If I don't agree, she will not pursue it. What do you think if both of us consent? Do it, baby. I say do it. I say 100% yes. If you're okay with it and she's okay with it, then go for it. And don't worry what Dr. Laura has to say, because Dr. Laura is just going to say you're immoral. What do you think?
You're going to shout some racially charged remarks at you.
Oh, man. Yeah, Laura is not helpful. She says, okay, go ahead, but give me your kids while you do immoral things to undermine your relationship.
Oh, shit!
But, I mean, this is so awful. Come on, you know better. It would be totally destructive.
Why?
One's personal happiness is not the loftiest goal of humanity.
Yes, yeah. Well, why, though?
Yeah, I think that you're 11 years in. You're like, all right, I like most of what's going on here, but I need somebody to, break down my back a little bit.
Just don't. I want to do other. There's this facet of my life that I feel.
Yeah,
that I would want to be fulfilled.
And they said they thought they could ask. I mean, at least they asked. It's better than like someone telling your best friends and then they're cowards and they won't tell you.
It could be a trusting relationship, or it could be the bad kind of like where they're like the cuckolding like type of relationship.
That's not what it says.
No, that I'm saying that like
they're just saying like if you want to get some pussy, go get some.
I think it's
like,
fine.
I'm gonna get a dick appointment.
I'm not into an open relationship. Like I don't want to do that. I'm not a fan. I'm a monogamy guy. I'm an old fashioned in that way. My wife is definitely not into it. Bro, I mean, I can't say 100%, but I'd say 99% very sure. But like, if
he doesn't seem alarmed by it.
No,
like it doesn't say like this is immoral. He was just like, should I do it? It's like, I mean, yeah, if you're into it, go for it.
Yeah, if you're even considering it, I think it's fine.
If you're considering it, give it a shot.
And it's not like
that's all you have to do is just also be like, hey, let's try this for 2019. Like, let's just give it a year and see how we feel at the end of this and reassess shit.
And it's like she is like cool with him. That's the other part of it that I think is fine. Like if she's cool with him and he's cool with her, fuck it, Let your freak flag fly. No, I can't say it. And I just said a slur.
You're no freak. You're
let your freak flag fly.
Yep. Don't isolate that. You're gonna get that isolated.
No, whatever.
You yelling out F-bombs and shit.
Yeah, I'm not a freak.
You're no freak.
I'm sorry. Well, thanks for calling in, Alex. Get that free pizza. Steal, cover up put a looping tape in the camera machine like they do in a heist movie and steal that pizza.
Good idea. Good idea.
Thanks, Brett.
I like that. Go get a soundstage and just record stock footage.
I mean, you could just record it in there. Really?
Yeah, you're right.
You could just set the cameras up right next to him and just record a whole day of not stealing the pizza and then play it over and over again. They would never know it, especially if it was a whole day.
Yeah. How would you know? You'd have to check at the same time. Yeah, no way. All right, let's get through these calls.
You'd have to do back to back.
Speed round.
We got a half hour.
We got a half hour to go. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to?
Hey, is it me?
Yes, it's you.
Hey guys, this is Dylan from Des Moines, Iowa.
What's up, Dylan? Did you see us at Vaudeville Muse?
Hell yeah, I fucking did. That was fucking rad.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, what's going on tonight, Dylan?
Thank you guys so much for coming out to Iowa, first of all. I know it wasn't like a huge crowd, but it fucking made my year.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun for us. We had fun. We liked it. It was a good show.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody draws a huge crowd in Des Moines.
Listen, okay, first of all, there are people here.
It felt like a ghost town. But we were also on a Wednesday night, I think, or we were on a night that isn't like a go-out night either. I think it was like a Monday or a Wednesday or something. So, we get it.
Yeah. So, I'm actually calling in with a story about the dangers of Kratom.
Uh-oh.
Which I feel like, in good conscience, I have to tell the listeners.
Okay.
So, a couple years ago, I was living in Chicago, and I started doing Kratom pretty regularly, or taking it or whatever. And really irresponsibly, where I would just go and buy, like, bags of the capsules of it, and throughout the evening, every night, just, like, take some. Like, I have no idea how much, honestly. Okay. I wasn't even paying attention. I just, like, take a few more, whatever I felt like. And did that for, like, a couple of weeks or something like that. So one day I just totally stopped taking them. Just entirely, one night, just stopped taking them, didn't have any more. The next day, woke up, rode the train to work. I'm sitting there on the train. I realize there's this, if you've seen the movie Trainspotting, there's that scene where he talks about how heroin makes you constipated. Mm-hmm. Once you stop taking it, you're no longer constipated.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So that fucking happened.
Yeah.
So the fortunate thing is, I made it into my office. I clocked in on my fucking computer for my fucking job, and dashed to the bathroom. Had to text my boss from inside of there to tell him there was a problem. It was going to be a minute, and just be cool.
Texting your boss to say this toilet break's going to be a minute sounds pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm really fortunate that he was a really cool guy. And he was honestly just like, "Are you okay? Like, are you sick?" And I was just like, "No.
No.
Just give it time. Give it time. Let it work out."
I've been holding some stuff in for a while on this Kratom. yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of things that it does. Like, it's like I always tell people, like, just just treat it like something. I don't know. Like with Kratom, a lot of times I think people get the impression that I'm like, I think everybody should do it. When really I'm just like, when you're doing it, be responsible with it. I don't want you to like treat me like a doctor or use my example of how to deal with it. And also, yeah, it's got some effects. It's got the constipation thing, you can have like light withdrawals from it and stuff like that. So it's like, be careful with it. But I dig it. So
yeah. And honestly, it's pretty good. I liked it, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really shitty, like what's going on, like people trying to make it illegal or whatever.
Right, I agree with you. I think it's wrong. I think it's so crazy to like. I think for me, it's very crazy to take this thing that people are enjoying and it's not hurting anybody else and try to get rid of it. Like it's like it feels like you're almost targeting a group of people.
Yeah.
Let's Dr. Laura it up, okay?
Yeah.
You ready? You ready for the Dr.
Yeah,
Laura?
hit me.
All right. Hi,
Let's go.
Hi, Dr. Dylan. My daughter had originally invited me, my new wife, and my 2 stepchildren to her wedding. She recently disinvited my wife and stepkids. I told her if they don't come, I don't come. Do you think I've made a mistake by this ultimatum? I'll answer first because I'm the first answerer. No, don't go. If they don't, I'm a firm believer. And if I love this person, and if you don't love this person,
stepkids. Yeah.
I guess if you don't love this person, then it you can't have. Okay. I'll just say it like this. My brother-in-law hates my guts. Okay, and my wife. They love my wife. They actually like my wife because, I don't know, because he thinks I make fun of him for thinking the earth's flat, but the truth is, I don't really make fun of people for that. It's weird. It's just a weird thing, whatever. But anyway, my wife doesn't want to go hang out over there because she doesn't want to sit around and listen to them badmouth her husband.
That makes sense.
I feel like that's really cool of her. Like, I feel real solidarity with her, and I wouldn't want to go hang out somewhere where somebody was going to badmouth my fucking wife the whole time.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go.
Yeah, and kids, man, like, adults have fucking lives besides kids. Doesn't revolve around your fucking kids, and, you got to deal with your step-parents, as long as they're reasonable, within reason.
Right. Well, and I'm just saying that, like, I love my wife. And if she's disinvited, then I'm disinvited. Like, disinviting my wife automatically disinvites me. If you don't like my wife, then we're enemies. Is basically kind of how my world works. So, what do you think? Should he go to the wedding? Or should he not?
100% skip it.
Yep. Yeah.
Fuck that wedding. Fuck those people.
Yeah,
it's over.
Sounds like a stupid time.
It's brutal. I mean, if you invite a family and then disinvite everybody except for one person, don't go to that place. That's not like any time.
That's aggressive.
For me, it's like if you're inviting a group of people, if you invited me and just for example, the people in this room that are street fight people, if you invited me, Brett, and Jason, and then you were like, I don't want Steven, the zine guy, I don't want him to come though. Then I've just been like, no, fuck you then. You know what I mean? You invited the whole street fight inner thing. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
And like, if you don't just pick one person, like if somebody's instinct is to disinclude somebody that hasn't done anything like there are obviously things that you can do to be disinvited as part of a group, but if it's just I don't like you, then fuck that person. Just fuck them. Like I don't want to be around people who disinclude people, you know, who are just like, no, you're not allowed here unless that person's again like a rapist, for example. It's like obviously it's like I understand this, but if it's a personality thing, if this woman, if these people that are getting married just decided that they don't like their sister-in-law and their kids because they don't like their attitude or something like that, then fuck them. You're disincluding people and it's not cool. Obviously other people don't feel that way. They're coming around, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Dylan. And talk to you next time. I don't know.
All right,
if
thank you, guys.
Brett was
Good
just
night.
leaving me hanging over here. I was like, felt like I was hanging in the wind.
No,
there.
you were just kept saying the same shit.
Okay.
You told it about you.
Sorry.
You told us about all of your like ride or die families. That
Sorry,
you're, like,
guys.
Codependent killer for.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Peace.
All
Somebody
right,
said.
Cheers, man.
Somebody said the brick wall behind us looks like a blunt wrap.
It does. Kind of. Yeah, it's got that color. Let's get this. Let's get this
All right.
bread. We got
We're
3 calls in
close.
25 minutes.
Yeah. Thanks for calling Street Fighter. Who are we talking to?
Or a half hour.
Hey, what's up? It's Robert in St. Louis. What's going on?
How's it
What's
going?
up?
St. Louis in the house tonight.
Yeah, I'm the security guard. I want to ruin you guys this week. I'm driving home from work right now, and I want to ruin your week before it even starts.
Okay.
And I want to preface this. There's a new guy at work that he's like a veteran, and I guess he was like a infantry mortar guy in like the 90s. Whenever he was stationed in Southern California. Before I say this story, I just want to bring up like, hey, what's going on in like Venezuela right now, and and I also want to bring up that like. We used to test nukes in the, in the Caribbean, in the Atlantic. So this guy was telling me yesterday that whenever, because we were just swapping stories or whatever, and he was telling me that they went out to test these mortars, and they had white phosphorus, red phosphorus, and then some other kind of shit that I don't even know, letters and numbers. And I was like, okay. And I guess they were testing him he was stationed in California. They were testing him in Southern California. And the way that he was telling me it was that they had the big, shipping containers or whatever off the barges and that kind of shit that they would test these on. And they were sitting there shooting off, firing these mortars. And the dude's loading in. He loads 3, and then he puts in a 4th one. And I guess the squad commander tackled him, and he's like, hey, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm dealing with, ammunition, or, I'm dealing with high explosives. You can't be doing that shit. And his, like, commander, like, pointed out, and I guess there were illegal immigrants that were in the shipping containers, and they didn't check, and they were just shooting phosphorus at them.
Fuck!
Yeah, and the other guy that was with me, right, he was cracking up, and I was like, no, dude, like, that's a war crime. Like, that is war crime without the war. That is like...
Yeah, that's a crime. That's crazy.
So, I wanted to call in and talk about my brother, because he's a libertarian, and I keep meaning to bring him up, because I want to know how to, like, engage with him, because he's very difficult. But, like... I know you guys are short on time, so like maybe next week. But
no, you're good. I mean,
yeah, I thought that was like.
I mean, what is your?
Sorry, go ahead.
We have. I mean, we still have like 30 minutes, so we got 3 calls, 30 minutes. So we'll try to get some done for you here. You say your brother's a libertarian. What is he a libertarian that loves business, or is he a libertarian that loves drugs?
He's weird, right? So he's very into, I guess you would call him like an egoist libertarian, where he's very much like, fuck he's weird, where he's like, you know, fuck money, chase your passions or whatever. But he's very free speech heavy. He watches like Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson, and like that kind of shit. So like he's very like articulate with like very bad talking points that I don't think he fully understands, because I don't think they really like align with what he thinks. It just like it sounds good, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that doesn't sound very egoist to root for people that try to deny people to make the choice about their gender identity or how they express themselves. And
I also think that like those are you're dealing with like a harder type of person to talk to. You're dealing with somebody that's like a lot like my father-in-law, and that like not super interested in hearing any other viewpoints. So when you start to explain stuff to, it's hard to bridge that gap. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to bridge the gap with some of those people. And, you know, for me, I'm not super, I mean, I am personally, I like to look at the right wing shit and see the right wing memes and stuff like that. So personally, I'm fine with it, but I can understand somebody not being super open to that. Like open to seeing what those people are talking about, you know?
Well, last time I talked to him, right? I'm like, yeah, I like to see what they're learning, right? Because, you know, if I run into something that like I haven't encountered before, you know, like a talking point, then I want to like, you know, be able to study it and, you know, like think about it and be like, okay, like why are they saying, you know, this? And, you know, what's the, you know, what's the, essentially, you know, what's the right way to look at it, you know? And, but last time that I argued with him, he, you know, we were talking, and he said, you know, essentially, you know, police are the violent arm of the state and the law, and, you know, all they do is oppress. And I said, you know, I was like, I don't understand how you can have that viewpoint. And like, I was like, I don't understand how you're not, you know, a socialist, because you can't have that viewpoint and then, you know, relax it on like literally anything else that the state or corporations or like any other like power structure in the world. You can't look at the police separate from that. Like it boggles my fucking mind that he can have that view on the state, but like not be able to translate that.
But libertarians, a lot of times, they don't view oppression the same way that we view oppression. Their oppression is paying an income tax. Their oppression is their money being used to go to public works or for the public, what we would consider a socialist, the public good. They think that you should be able to make a lot of those choices. So when you talk about the police or the oppressive arm of the state, they're looking at them like, well, they're the ones that if I don't pay my taxes, they're going to come and get me. It doesn't seem like they're talking about Black Lives Matter, is what I mean.
Yeah. But the other thing that like confuses me with him, right? Because he's like very poor. He is like literally living his dream as a libertarian, where he started up a company, and I use that in like loose quotes, where it's just like him and his dad, and he invented a thing that is essentially a mold for like candles and soaps, and it makes the process of making candles and soap easier with like this design where like you can just like pour wax into it and then you can like pop it apart, right? And like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, like that's that's a stupid thing to have a business for. Like I don't think that there's a market for that, but like you are increasing production, you know what I mean? Like there is a use for it, but there's not like a market for it, you know what I mean? And but his business partner, who owns essentially bought his house and is selling it back to him. You know, he like pays rent to his landlord until he like pays it off, and whatever like alterations he makes to the house just go on to the end of the bill or whatever, which is awesome, you know, and in theory, right? But you know, it's one person that pays his wage, controls his living, and you know, he makes like roughly like $12 an hour, like translated, right? Which isn't bad, but like he just had his second kid. Both kids he had to his wife works at a hardware store next door to their house, and she like couldn't claim that she had a job for tax reasons because like we live in Illinois, and if like they don't make a certain amount, then you know, they get essentially free healthcare, you know, and that's how they have their kids. So like, and you know, like he was aware of it, and I guess that he just thought like, oh, I'm playing the system, and like I'm smart because I know how to play the system, and like this is how you have to live. And it's like, no, like actually you can just fix the fucking problem. Like it's that easy. Like you don't have to like play, like you don't have to have mental gymnastics to like try and find the way to like beat the system. Like you can just like fix the fucking system.
Yeah, I would say.
And like it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for me, I mean, I look at a lot of stuff when it comes to, you know, communities and joining together and stuff. I do come at it from a very selfish perspective, where I do think that like making sure that everybody can get the health care that they want will benefit me, you know, in the long run. Like as being a part of a community, as a part of a society, and dealing with people, the more that we can facilitate, you know, people having a baby and it not like crushing them financially, the better citizens that they can be, the more productive, the more that they can achieve their goals and their passions and things like that, the less that people have to worry about, you know, the basics.
Yeah.
And most people, the majority of us are worrying about the basics, and I don't think that that's worth it. I don't think just to let, you know, a couple billionaires, because I mean, what really drives a lot of this is that, like, you know, but think about it. There's people out there that, you know, make enough money to buy islands and $1 million yachts and all of these things, and I don't want to change that system, you know. It's I mean, I tell you what, I still don't understand it. For me, it comes down to that 70% tax rate question, where it's like, okay, make $10 million. Make $10 million first, and then you can complain about it. You know, like who's doing that? Nobody's fucking doing that, and it's not even within reach of anybody. And it would help to facilitate the rest of us who have needs that aren't being taken care of. You know, their infrastructure and support is falling apart for. You know, the majority of people here, and we need to address this stuff, you know, because we have enough. There's enough work going into this. There's enough money. There's enough. Everything is going. There's enough effort being put into this. There's enough going on to take care of everybody, you know. But we buy into this system that they're in control of, that allows them to hoard all of the wealth. You know, the people that have always hoarded the wealth, and you know, and we convince poor people to dream of being rich someday.
Well, and America's in such like a fine state for like socialism, just because like the capitalist like American dream that they pushed like worked insofar as that it built the infrastructure for us to actually like seize the means of production. Also, I forgot to mention at the beginning, I did wind up joining, like, paying dues and going to the first meeting for the St. Louis CSA. So that's fun. And then, like, I'm, like, coordinating with them, but I gotta, like, find time to do shit. But I forgot to mention that. But, yeah, I am, like, officially, like, I guess, part of an organization. So,
cool. Well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Real quick, have you guys seen the Davos thing at all?
Yeah.
The rich guy. Oh, dude, that shit fucking killed me. Like them getting like fucking reamed on taxes.
Yeah. Well, the memes were so good. Yeah. Those ones that they made themselves of like nonsense quotes for like about success and shit. Yeah. Well, you got to answer.
And just like. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah. You're good. But we're going to have to do the question here.
Yeah, I mean,
pay your toll. You got to pay your toll.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. You ready, Brett?
Yeah, let's do this.
I'm 23 and getting married. The maid of honor is my ex-sister-in-law, whom I love very much. My brother, her ex, is also coming with his new wife and stepchild. My mother wants me to tell him who the maid of honor is because he may be upset. I say no, it's my wedding and she's important to me. What do you think? She wants to warn him that his ex-wife is going to be at the wedding.
I'll go first.
Well, I mean,
just tell
Oh,
them.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Just let them fucking know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have, just let them make the decision and be done with it.
Yeah, why? I don't understand why you're keeping that
Why are you
secret.
making it into something for you to throw a fucking fit about?
Yeah, what do you think?
This is, they should be able to get, they should be fucking adults. We're not talking about,
Yeah. Teenagers.
Hopefully they can be adults. But, if they have a drinking problem, that might be something else.
And 23-year-old type people... Damn,
yeah,
like
that's
getting
true.
married. That's a lot of people who are getting married are like 23.
Yeah, that's true. And they're all having like weird feelings where they're jealous of each other. And they want to sleep with each other behind their backs and shit.
Yeah, remember 23.
That's true.
Remember when you were 23.
That's true. There's a lot of emotions and shit going on.
So what do you think?
Yeah, man. I feel like everybody has like those people that they don't want to be surprised by seeing, and I feel like that's probably like within that realm of like, oh yeah, he should probably know that. I don't know why you wouldn't.
His ex-wife is in the wedding party,
right?
Like what are you hiding your
Yeah,
wedding
like,
party
She's gonna
away?
be out there dancing
Yeah,
and everybody plays Grease and shit and
Yeah.
lines up with girls and guys.
Yeah, follow that to the logical conclusion and tell me how that goes. Like,
Nobody does that though.
yeah.
That is a true thing. Like the best advice you could ever give anybody in this world is to follow your behavior. If you have a moral dilemma like this, follow your solution all the way through in your mind and see what the end of that solution is, because that will show what the intention was.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like that'll show like, it's like, okay, so I'm not going to tell him. I don't need to tell him who my maid of honor is.
Yeah.
And then he's going to show up and he's going to see my maid of honor and he's going to be like, oh, God damn it. I don't want to be around like my maid of honor. So maybe I should just let him know. I'll just let him know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just give him a heads up. She's in her mind. She's like, well, if I don't tell him, then he can't really not come to the wedding. And it doesn't even, she's acting like if she doesn't tell him, then it becomes then it's not a problem. It's not a problem if he doesn't know.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for calling. Thanks for answering a question with us. It's a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we got
we're
two
close.
more.
Yep, almost out of here.
And I think we're going to do it. Yeah, we did it, man.
Thanks
we got
for calling
10
Street
minutes.
Fight. Who are we talking to?
Hello.
Hey,
Howdy.
what's up? Who's this?
This is Ryan in Oregon.
Okay.
How's it going?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I was just calling in because I just wanted you to let y'all know and all the Street Fighters that we actually have a lot of power to stand up against these tyrannical bosses that have been causing us to, strangle our souls through each day, hardly through the 4 to 8 hour shifts. Regardless, I was at work a few days ago. We get there at 5 in the morning, and the phone rings whenever the door is unlocked by the manager, and all 4 of us walk in. He answers the phone and immediately says something about, hey, this person should be fired. It's really early. It's 5 in the morning. And, we're not really paying attention to what's going on.
Right.
And the manager says, hey, don't you think someone should be fired if they call this early in the morning? And we're all like, what? And he says it like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, like somebody must have called in because they were sick or something. I don't know what it was. It was like really early. Well, anyways, this guy who I work with, I haven't worked for that long. I've worked at a few of just different corporate stores, chain stores, and I just started working this one since Christmas. And sure enough, he starts asking us, don't you think someone should be fired? He asked us like 3 or 4 times, and one of my coworkers chimes in, wait, how can they call in any earlier? You just walked in the door. because he's like, you should call a couple hours before. He just said that like a few times before when he asked us that. And sure enough, I was like, yeah, you just walked in the door. How could she call in? And he goes, what, you got a problem? Like immediately he just like starts saying that. And I was like, well, I mean, I just wonder if I'm sick. Are you trying to say that we're fired?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, yeah. And I was like, well, that's not right. Well, he starts yelling. He was like, well, I don't like how confrontational you're getting about this. And I was like, I didn't even know this guy's name hardly at this point. I just started this job, right? And sure enough, he starts yelling, and I was like, this is out of control. And I was like, you know, your first reaction is you start laughing or something because it's so awkward. You're like, why is this guy yelling? And I'm like, are you serious, dude? He's like, you can just go home right now. And I was like, whoa, this just escalated in about 1 minute, 45 seconds. Yeah, I mean, like, seriously, I was very confused. And sure enough, he goes, we have like a really bad lighting system at the store, and you have to walk across the room to like turn the breaker back on. It just happened to go off at that very moment.
Oh, amazing.
He walks over there to turn it off, and the whole time he's like, you need to get out of here right now. I was like, well, I'm not getting very many hours right now, and I'm just starting another job in a couple of weeks. I need all the minutes I can get. He's like, yeah, just go home. And sure enough, I was like, I'm not going home, dude. I'm going to go to my aisle and start putting up stuff on the shelf. He's like, get out of here right now. I'm calling the police. I was like, whoa, this has just got really scary. So immediately, I don't know what it was. I pressed play, record on my phone.
Okay.
And sure enough, I started recording in the next 3 minutes. And this guy's all yelling crazy. And I'm like, dude, why are you yelling right now? This is real scary, you know, and stuff like that. And he's just yelling crazy. He's like, get the freak out of the store. Well, after 3 minutes, I press pause and I go, hey, thanks for yelling for so much, because I think they're going to be really interested when the cops show up how I'm just standing here while you're yelling at me. He's like, what the, you know, he just flips out. And he says, now you're in big trouble. And he just runs down the aisle. And sure enough, comes back about 40. And I go, hey, dude, you want to end this? Just say you're sorry. He goes, I'm very sorry. I, you know, disrespected you like that. I just want to say I mishandled the situation, and my apologies, please. And I was like, wow, good thing I got this recording device here, because that saved the day.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy to, like, when the boss gets anytime the boss is like, you can go home right now, is like, if you need your job, I'm not telling you to quit, but that's a job you need to leave. You need to be working your way out the door of a job. If you go in, and they're like, "I'm gonna
job already lined up."
Yeah, because it's like if they're threatening you all the time, you can just go out the door right now. Then you're not long for that. You're not going to retire from there. I can tell you that. They're going to fire you sometime.
But it's one of those things where, you know, I'm waiting for a couple weeks till my other job has enough hours that I just started to, and I'm new into town and such. And I was like, this is wild. You know, this is a weird situation. I pressed record on my phone, and honestly, I really recommend anybody, you know, and I talked to a lawyer about it afterwards to see how it all was. You're supposed to tell someone first that you're recording. No, they're not going to hold it up in court, you know, if you record it and you don't tell them, but you're not going to get in trouble. It can be a misdemeanor, but it's not really ever, you know.
Right, and it's really like you do it, you scare the boss, basically. You just it's not like you're saying I'm going to take this into court and admit it into court. You're like you doing it so you can scare the boss. Really?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, you're not trying to say.
You know, he's been.
You're not trying to say anything
he's
about
been really
the law.
nice ever since, and it's been really, really cool. He's been like trying to joke around with me and stuff, and I was like, it's just really wild how like instantly that flipped everything. And even the lawyer said something really interesting. It's like, even if you do admit, hey, I'm going to record this, it can de-escalate something real quick. And I'm not all for cameras. I hate how they put cameras up everywhere at jobs and stuff, but under those instances, wow, I'm just really surprised. It really saved me from getting fired, you know, right then.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And so he didn't think people should be calling in at 5 a.m. when they open.
Sick. He doesn't.
Yeah, it was really weird, and he was being like real aggro about it. And one of my other coworkers who never talks at all, like literally said, "Well, that doesn't sound right." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what you're really talking about right now, but just in case I get sick sometime. Are you? Because he said there's a zero policy. You're fired instantly if you don't give like a 48-hour notice or something. I don't remember what it was. It was like,
yeah,
dang.
that's fucking wild.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Well,
we got a card for you.
We got a card. We got 2 more calls. We got to hit everybody with the card. That's paying your toll. My husband
I'll go real quick.
My husband is a podiatrist and works 6 days a week. Damn, feet got to be worked on 6 days? Like, damn.
Feet will get fucked up.
What bothers me is he spends his free Sundays at sporting events. He's
Ooh.
willing to take our kids, but I don't want him to just sitting in the bleachers and eating. I'm more the string quartet type.
Oh, no.
Don't you think he should compromise and do something I like? That's not, I mean, no.
Yes.
Life is about compromise, and it's about doing things that you want to do. But my wife and I have a very firm, I'm not going to make you do something, like stance, because I think that is like the shittiest thing about that's like sitcom behavior.
This
you
isn't
know?
a replacement therapy.
I
This
agree.
isn't a replacement thing. He just needs to take his wife out to the symphony is all it is.
Every now and then.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
enough.
That's cool with me. I'm just saying, like, she wants him to take his Sunday where he goes to his sporting events. This guy loves to go to sporting events on Sunday. He works 6 days a week staring
He
at people's
sounds like
nasty
an
feet.
awful. He sounds awful, and he should probably not be doing that shit. To be
What is
honest.
wrong with that?
Because he's avoiding pretty much all of his time with his wife. He's
That's
spending
true.
most of his day at work, and a lot of men do that to avoid
Yeah.
their families and
True.
to avoid a lot of responsibilities.
Right. Work,
You know what? You might be onto something.
you know, you're exactly right. Because work is sort of work is the only thing you're allowed to do to avoid
Yep.
your wife. It's the only thing out there. If you want to avoid your partner, your significant other, the only way you can really truly do that without getting in trouble is to have to work.
Yeah, I gotta work.
Yeah. Oh shit, I gotta work. You know, and a lot of guys do that. You're right. A lot of guys like structure their job in a way that keeps them away from home. Like a guy that's a podiatrist, I doubt he's working at a place that requires 6 days a week
Yeah,
of him.
and even
He's
how late
doing
is he
it.
working?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could come home early and have dinner instead
Yeah.
of just eating Taco Bell in your car again.
You go see a string quartet with me.
Yeah, go take her out.
Go see Apocalyptica.
Get her a
They play
blouse.
Metallica songs.
Get her a blouse.
Yeah, it should never get to the point where, you know, you're going to have to, like, lay down limits about, oh, hey, you got to do this, or, ooh, there's, like, this is going to be a huge, you know, like, crux in our relationship or whatever. If it gets to that point, yeah, you got some serious problems. You better work on that.
Right.
But
agree with you.
The thing about it is, oh, yeah, everybody does some. There's definitely TV shows and things I'll watch with my girlfriend that I'm not into, but I'm into them because she is, too. Sometimes, and and I don't really enjoy it, but so I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with like having a thing that you do every
He
week.
could work. Like I said, he could work.
He could work 5 days.
He could work 5.5 days.
Yeah.
He could take a half day every Saturday and then
Give Saturday to his wife.
Go out to dinner and dancing or something. On
Saturdays
Saturday
for the
nights.
string quartet and fucking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
You got to at least make at least one date a week.
Yeah, I mean, my philosophy right now is like, I want to have just nights with my wife, like because it's been a long time since we've had them, but usually it's like one day a week. We spend time together doing together shit,
Yeah.
and whether it's whether we go over to Brett's house or we went over to Drew Toothpaste's house last night, like we are doing things together as like as a couple, you know. So I think that's a good thing to have. You shouldn't just give your kids the thing,
Yeah,
but she could also go to a.
He should have his own thing too. I mean,
She could also go to a sporting event, Brett. She could do that.
Yeah, she could.
She could. That's for sure. Well, thank you for calling in, and we're gonna get this last call in and be done. We're killing it, dude.
All right, a little bit over.
One last call.
One.
Oh
last
yeah,
call.
well, maybe
Oh,
310.
shit. Did I hang up? What happened to the?
I think our phone hung up here.
The phone hung up.
Yeah.
All right.
3-hour calls is the limit, must be.
What's that?
Yeah, I think it was because we were on for longer than 3 hours. The phone disconnected.
Well, I mean, you should just be able to call back in if you want.
How do you call back in? Well, I mean, should we call back in? I feel like this person waited.
Yeah, they did wait a long time.
How do we do it?
You just got to call
the call-in number? Okay. Well, start
818
vamping.
794.
Don't
Okay, I'm
say
talking. I'm
don't
talking
say it to everybody.
We're just hanging out. We're chatting. We're gonna figure this out. Yeah, I'll talk about the people in the chat. There's tons of marriages where that's a question that why these people get married, dude. Because a lot of people just feel like you have to get married, right?
Well, and this comes from a time when people, did feel very pressured into staying in a lot of fucking shitty.
Yeah. Like, people felt like they needed to stay. But I honestly feel like...
You are now in the host room and can manage your callers.
Shut up.
Call-in studio web interface show recording us on...
All right, let's get it. Let's get this. All right, we're ready to go.
Last caller. Hello, what's going on?
What is up?
Is this me?
Yeah. Woo. Glad you were there. We went the extra mile there. What's up?
Not much. This is Wrench down in Florida.
All right. What's going on tonight?
I go back to work tomorrow morning. My father is a small business tyrant.
Cool.
Okay.
Which is, it's weird.
How does that affect you and your life? Like, did he treat you?
Well, I work for him. So do several of my other family members.
No.
It's an auto shop.
You have CEO in training business cards?
Well, he doesn't know I'm going to try to unionize the shit out of it if he gives it to me. So,
I was going to say, if you try to unionize, if you're salting your dad's small business, you're a king. That is king level Hall of Fame, Street Fight Hall of Fame shit. Salting your dad's business.
But it's kind of weird watching everything there because it's like, in terms of small business tyrants, he's one of the better ones to work for, but he could be doing a lot more for his employees.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, Grant, you know, he's got the same crew that he opened the shop with 26 years ago. So, you know, the turnover rate's low, but like, you know, we got this new guy there. He's got planner's warts, which are these like weird warts you get under the calluses in your feet, and like. He didn't get them until he started working at our shop, and like, you know, he's had to take.
You have a warty shop. The shop you work at like causes warts.
Well, no one else has ever gotten them.
Okay.
At the shop, I've never gotten them.
Okay.
But this guy didn't start getting them until he started working at our shop. So I'm assuming he hasn't done this kind of labor before, but like he does good work. There's nothing wrong with him, but like, he's just got this medical issue he's having, and he needs time off to get it dealt with. And like he can't afford to take the time off because he used up his vacation time the last time he dealt with the same exact issue. And like, I wish I could go to my dad and just go, hey. Just give him the fucking days. Just give him the week off and pay him. Who fucking gives a shit? You could fucking afford it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's cool that you're doing that, though.
Fucker buys a new truck every couple of fucking goddamn years, you know? You can fucking afford to give this guy a couple days off and pay him for it to get his fucking planner's warts removed, but...
Yeah, get them warts
removed. And he's saying, like, well, I was being nice. I gave him his vacation time for next year early, and I'm like, well, fuck, now he doesn't have his vacation time for next fucking year.
Right, now it's already spent.
Yeah, it's already fucking spent, and it's like, you know, and like, I don't know, it's just kind of frustrating to watch, because like, anytime I say some shit, I'm kind of like the black sheep of my family, so like, the shit that comes out of my mouth is rarely taken seriously, you know, but I'm the only one in my dad's direct lineage that is even interested in working on cars. So the person that's going to probably wind up taking anything over is me. So regardless of what he does now, when I take it over, I don't know, fuck, everybody's getting raises and vacation time for starters.
Hell yeah. You gotta have a.
I mean,
it's got to be awkward, like, but it is cool that you're at least like, if you do have this sort of position that you're in, this kind of the kid, you have this kind of position where you're the son.
The failed son in training.
Yeah, where you're able to do things that maybe other people can't do, and you're taking advantage of that to better the other workers. Then that's really great.
But well, the other thing is that I live in Florida. It's a fairly rural town down that I live in. But most of the guys that work at the shop, they are they're conservatives. I'm fairly certain every person at the shop besides myself is. But they think the system's okay.
Yeah.
They stare my dad in the face every day. He pulls up in his brand new 2018 Silverado, and they're fine with that. And he is, he comes to the shop and he works on little projects for like his other rich buddy friends that own businesses, but like,
right, they're doing the majority of the work. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm good. I mean, if you get the chance to turn it around, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna card you out here, and then we're gonna we're gonna clock out. You ready? My philandering first husband is in jail for killing 2 people while driving drunk.
Whoa.
This is a game you play on like game night.
Yeah, this is family game night.
Man, did y'all pick this one for last for a reason?
He got 20 years. My new husband is a good man, fine husband, and devoted father to my 2 sons. My kids have no interest in visiting their father. My in-laws would take them to see him. Should I push it? No, you don't have to do that. I mean, don't push things.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I think that's one of those, let somebody else do the worrying about that besides you.
Yeah.
That's pretty cut and dry there.
Yeah, if they ask, then, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
You know how to facilitate that, but if they're not into it, get the fuck,
Yeah. All right.
I mean, Street Fight Radio is not very much into this, like, blood is thicker than water thing.
No, we're
it's pretty much even, non-hierarchical. Family is not higher than friend to me. Like,
right.
You have to, once again, earn my respect and treat me right. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. No unconditional love.
Nope, that's true. Not for family. Family don't get it. Sorry.
Right.
I mean, I have unconditional love
for humanity,
people in my life and stuff like that.
Humanity,
yeah. I mean, there are people that I truly, truly love, but not all of them are in my family.
Yeah.
So, God, this Royal Rumble's fucking weird. I'm just gonna let y'all know that. But all right, thanks for calling in.
Yeah,
we're done, buddy. We did it.
All right, thank you for listening to the show. That was Street Fight Radio, the 3-hour-long call-in edition. We're now doing this every single week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. If you want even more Street Fight, head over to patreon.com/Street Fight Radio. You can sign up for just $1 a month to get even more bonus podcast audio. Brian talking to people that he's interested in.
I can tell
who's
you
coming up. Who do we got?
A few people that are about to be coming up. I got the
Cath show just came out. We just did another Cath show.
I got the boys from Minion Death Cult coming on.
Great, Tony.
Soon.
Yeah, and Andrew.
And I have let's see here. Let's see if they've. Well, I know that they're going to do it. Matt Chrisman will be on with me. I got Dank Metal. I got Nick from Detroit. I'm still filling it out, so it'll be a period of time where I'm filling things out. Maybe me and Brett will do a special show or something like that in the next run or something. I'm still sorting it all out, but those are 3 people that you're definitely getting.
I recorded a podcast with Lucia Love and OK Fox from the Art and Labor podcast about organizing the art scene there in New York City. Very interesting, fun conversation. They were really good. I suggest you listen to their podcast. I was really impressed with what they do. We also have our zine that comes out every single month for $3 a month. We're behind on it right now because we're lackadaisical, and even me, the strongest, most grittiest member of this thing, I still only have about 40% more grit than the average person.
Look, here's the thing. It was bound to get behind at some point.
Yeah.
It's the show. It's hard. We're two guys running a thing. We do have a zine person, but we're really, at our core, two guys. And we have everything filters through us, and we're anarchists, and we're flaky, and shit happens.
Yes, but you can do that. Also, right now, the big thing is for $5 a month, we have this bonus video level, and you can watch the Firefest documentary. We watched the Netflix one?
Yep.
We watched the Netflix one, full commentary with us, video reaction and everything by going to the patreon.com/StreetFightRadio. I'm going to also have our bonus. I'm going to have our live show from LA. It turned out wonderfully. The video looks great. I've got bonus footage all the way from our Midwestern tour still I'm going to be digging into. So there's a lot of bonus video footage. And for that $5 a month, you're getting all the zines and you're getting all the bonus audio. So check out Patreon for more Street Fight Radio content. We'll see you later this week. Follow us on social too. We're doing updates on Street Fight WCRS is our username on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. Peace.
Who's Mark?